something in your eyes. Ooh, one false move and you'll be gone. You made me, baby, it's alright. I can't tell if, baby, it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore, no, 'cause it's starting to come out, starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long, yeah, it's starting to come out, starting to come out, and I can't pretend anymore. Ooh, I'm yours, starting to come out, starting to come out, starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours, starting to come out, starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours.
Hey, so Indies, yeah. Hey, so Indies, hey, yeah. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame, heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings, yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained, now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name. I pull up and I skirt, and I'm swerving. If a nigga try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under buzz like a Persian. We been staying in our lane, ain't no merging. Wrap a nigga like a motherfucking turban. Yeah, these niggas all square like Irvin. Yeah, we grew up in the hood, no Suburbans. If I say I need my money, then it's urgent. Yeah, they want me to quit. Yeah, they want me to shift. But as long as I'm alive, we gon' keep on making hits. While they steady shooting bricks, man, it's lit. Yeah, it's lit. Me and Dale back to back, and yeah, I'm dishing the assist. Yeah, they talk a lot of shit, but we really with the shits. Lame ass niggas always gonna be reaching for they hit. Smoke a nigga like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame, heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings, yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained, now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name. I'm in flex mode with the best, though. That's a major key, that's a chess move. I'm your favorite G, I think it's best, yo. Stop with all the grilling, I'm on jet fuel. Taking off, clear the runway, now they cannot clip my wings. Yeah, they soft, they ain't homie, they ain't even on the scene. Play it smart, they don't know me, they just know what they see. What it costs to get flea, but this style it ain't free. This that swag, this that splash. One wrong move, that's your ass. Do the dash, keep a stash, just in case they tryna flash. Never lag, we don't slack, tell her eyes running back. I don't brag, I'm relaxed, I'm not into all of that, yeah. It's really just the fam and my dogs. I just gotta make a call. I ain't into all that chatting, not at all. Yeah, I put that on the squad. We been out here going hard. We on deck, please don't make 'em. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame, heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings, yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained, now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up. Look. understand they love me. I understand they hungry, but please don't hate, that's ugly. I've been sliding, shaking, moving. I've been popping in my city. Shawty say she love the way we do it with me. I be too turned up to ever give a fuck. I ain't come to argue, let a nigga fuck. They been talking pennies, I need bigger bucks. About to catch a flight, I need to switch it up. Got that black boy joy, might do my dance on him. Take no disrespect, might put my hands on him. Hit this chicken, now she wanna marry me. But she gon' need some closure and some therapy. Came back to the city with my bank account on F. Giving rappers hell, I know they happy that I left. Hit the south in winter, I just put down my deposit. 82 degrees, I left that jacket in my closet.
Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'ma flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
Hey, look, came in with the what's that? Left out with the who she. Laying game like 2D, I been kicking shit like Bruce Lee. Margarita to the brim tip, black denim need a slim fit. Same people that I flex with be the ones that I'm in the gym with. I'm a living legend, you a dead cause, and I'm dead ass. No, I'm dead, right? Leaving early, but I'm here night. Long and short to keep the head right. Teed up out in Malibu, got sand all in my good shoes. Press a nigga with the pessimism, but I only came for the good news. I am the show that they came for, hitting the target I aim for. We been discussing the contract, just telling they get what they paid for. I am not fucking with poverty, really it started to bother me. I need the yacht with the property, they come with the view that you gotta see. Came up from the basement, hit the rooftop with a passion. Bad bitch with some good credit and a good sense for the fashion. Dope blowing with the left hand, ass gripping with the right hand. Uber share to the airport, I'ma hit you back when my flight
Bill, I'm in
land.
the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'ma flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
In this moment, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Either way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
What's going on? What's going on?
To the edge of it all. To the edge of it all.
Age, city, gender, and the chat room. Come on.
Cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell you goodbye. Cause I'll find no matter what. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. Uh-oh. Camera's a little bit jacked. So, we build it while we fly, baby. One love to the FBI. What does FBI stand for? Feminine, beautiful, and inspirational women outside. So, today, we have a new show. But before we get into it, I need to go over some housekeeping. If you type in all caps, the system will automatically time you out. Don't type in all caps. Type like a normal person. That's just what it comes down to. Type like a normal person and you won't have those issues. Number one. Number two, if you come in here talking crazy about me, you're gone. Come in talking crazy about me or another content creator, you're damn sure gone. Okay? I don't know where you think you go into a business, a restaurant, somebody's place of business, and you think you can talk crazy about them, and they just let you sit your naked butt up in their establishment. Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. The only thing I ask this in here is that you hit the like button, get it up over 50%, get the engagement rate over 50%. That's what I need you guys to be doing. All right. Strangely enough, today is a catch-all day. Woo! You can't make some of this stuff up, man. You cannot make some of this stuff up. So I don't even try. We are going to go over, just a second. We're going to go over some things that that need to have been discussed a while back. And it's this whole high value thing. High value has become the new buzzword. High value this, high value that. And yesterday I did my best to create, high value talking points. So at least people can know or understand what I'm talking about when I say high value, seeing as though most people seem to associate me bringing high value into the conversation. Okay? So those points were laid out yesterday. Oh, got the little tray. Fragrance. Oh, let's pull that one out because we're going to need that one. Set this down here. Alrighty then. Some people are probably like, what's all that glassware for? Well, glad you asked. When I crossed the 100,000 subscriber mark, I actually decided to go ahead and bust out some of the stuff I love. I don't know about you guys, but I like glassware. I do. I don't know if you've ever been to a dinner party or anything like that, but one of the best parts about a dinner party is the great glassware. This thing is too dark. It's too dark. So why don't we lighten it up a little bit? Give me a second, people. There we go. That'll lighten it up. So if you've ever gone to a dinner party or anything like that, one of the big things in a dinner party is being able to, the drinks portion before you get into the dinner and the service. So, this is where you decide whether or not you want to have wine, if you're a liquor drinker, scotch or bourbon or whatever. And I've always said, grown damn men drink from grown damn men glasses. One of the worst things, if you go to somebody's so-called dinner party and they've got red cups or plasticware, it's time to go because it's probably not going to be a good night. Another thing is you can often tell. I'll tell you a lot, guys. I've told you, get you a nice mini bar at home and don't try to get an entire set of stuff. Just get some cool, just get 2 of everything. These are tumblers. These are tumblers. And these are old-fashioned tumblers. This is a size for a double old-fashioned. You know, this thing weighs about a pound, a little bit over a pound. And this is for a triple old-fashioned. This thing weighs over 2 pounds. So why is that important? Why am I showing you that? Because I like it. Because I like it. We're going to use this one tonight. So we're going to put that over there. You know what? Let's move that out of the shot. As we're kind of priming into it, I want to see Johnny Walker Black Label. I love colored plastic cups. Waterford is beautiful. Waterford crystal is kind of like a standard that everybody is familiar with. Waterford, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy. Why did I bring this up? Because a lot of people have heard of Baccarat, not from their crystal, but from the fragrance from Francis Kurkdjian. That's Baccarat Rouge 540. Baccarat is a crystal maker, and they were known for their ability to make beautiful red crystal. But before a lot of black folks knew about them for fragrance, they make incredible crystal ware. More on that later. You know, your grandma had the china cabinet. You know, and I don't know if, you know, when you went to Big Mama's house. Yeah, I'm drinking Red Bull out of crystal. Because I'm bougie like that. If you went to Grandma's house, one of the things I used to love the most with my grandmother is sitting there polishing the silverware while she's telling me stories of the old days. Sitting there polishing the silverware with your grandmother while she's telling you the old days. But anyway, let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about what so many women get wrong about being high value. Ladies. Many of you, well-intended as though you may be, get a lot of stuff incorrect or outright wrong when it comes to high value. When it comes to high value men, but worse, when it comes to being a high value woman, many of you get things wrong. So, I actually had something forwarded to me by a subscriber a while back from CNBC. They got this series called Millennial Money. And I watch it from time to time when I get a chance to catch up. But I saw one that I really wanted to talk about today and kind of go into how this is some of the things that honestly need some adjustment or some work. So before we get into it, I'm going to go ahead and say the typical stuff. This is fair use. Shout out to CNBC. This is for editorial purposes only. Let's get into it.
Total amount in student loans is $230,000. I don't feel great about having that large amount of debt, but at the same time, I don't let it hinder me in what I do in my life. My name is Dr. Adrienne Coleman. I'm 30 years old, I make $100,000 a year, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've lived in Atlanta my entire life, and the only time I left was to go to grad school in Florida. I moved back because it's a great city. It's one of the top cities for Black millennials. I love hanging out with my friends, going to the park, going to a lot of my friends' events. have a full-time job that I work Monday through Thursday and a job that I do PRN, which means as needed, that I would do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Since Corona started, I do not work at that second job because it is at a skilled nursing facility, so the contact of coronavirus is heightened because the patients do live there and they do not want people coming in and out of the facility. When I was 15 years old, my mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. After researching multiple sclerosis, they found...
So number one, shout out to Dr. For getting herself through medical school and deciding to take a career path. But remember, one of the things that I've often said is that, you know, when it comes down to high value men are ranked completely different from high value women. The basic principles for high value men start with money, length of time you've made that money, being accepted by high value men as a part of their group, having a network, being visible, and having utility. It's not the same for women.
Out that physical therapy had the best benefits for them. That was not medication. It's funny because I treat my brothers and my dad more than I treat my mom. My parents are immigrants from Jamaica. They've been here since about the 1980s, and they have taught me and my brothers a lot about money. We were given an allowance starting at a young age. I think it was about 6, and I had to sweep the kitchen. And if we did not do our chores, we did not get our allowance. I learned about personal finance through my mom and my dad and a few of my friends who are in finance. My dad is very much so work very hard and then reward yourself with your hard work. So spend money on yourself, travel, buy nice things for yourself. But my mom, more so, she taught me about investing from an early age, asking for 10%.
Now, I'm going to be honest. Some of this stuff is just personal choice. But I need you young ladies, I need you women to understand something. Your debt matters to a high value man. Not because of the money, it's the mentality and how you spend the money. Again, it's not the debt itself, it's how you got it and why you got it.
Of whatever we earned on allowance or our paycheck and putting that into account for us that we could not touch. My relationship to money has changed since I've grown older. I would say that my mom is very cheap, and I used to have that trait, but as I've grown, I've realized that I don't have to be cheap in everything that I buy, so I value quality over quantity.
This young lady falls into the category of what Forbes dubbed being a Henry. Millennials, more than any other generation, are high earners, not rich yet. And you hear me talk a lot about Henrys. Henrys share a lot of what this young lady is talking about. Hey, work hard, play hard. Don't wait to live your life. Buy things now while you're young and enjoy your life. We're going to get more into that because here's the thing. Ladies, you can choose that path. However, the question is it going to lead you to the path of a high value husband? That's what a lot of you ladies say you want. High value men or high value husbands. And you're going to start to see things crystallize as we go on.
I invest a lot of money with my friends by buying their art, buying their clothes, buying their body products. I even solicit them to help me with business decisions by using them for their graphic design, for website design, anything that I need. I try to outsource that to my friends first and give them
or we go to intermission
businesses before I go to a big corporation. Since coronavirus has hit, my spending habits have changed a lot. I do not go out to eat as much. I do not spend money on clothes and shoes because I'm not going anywhere. I would travel at least once a month, even if it was going to the beach in Florida, because I do work a lot. Most of my travel money came from my second job, but since I'm not working there currently,
her monthly spending is $4,300. She makes $100,000, but her spending close to $5,000. Well, a little bit over $4,000, $4,500. All right. Notice she said she travels a lot. Now, once a month, that's excessive. You know, travel, live a good life, but in my opinion, my personal opinion, that is excessive.
then I don't have that extra money for travel, but we can't really go anywhere anyways right now, so that's okay. So I put about $200 into a regular savings account, another $200 into a high yield savings account. I put about $420 into my 401k through my job, and they match that as well. And then I put about $20 a month into my own personal Roth IRA account.
I'll leave this to the financiers, the Erica Williamses of the group. Shout out to Erica Williams if she's in the house. There are people who I will leave that to, but you just look at that value. I'm like, you're saving and investing roughly 10% of your expenses, and that matters to a high value man.
Coronavirus has changed my financial goals. I'm grateful that I still have my job, but in the event that I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to survive past about 2 months. My biggest money mistake is going to a private university for grad school to get a degree in physical therapy. I'm one of 4 kids, so my parents did not have the money to send all of us to college. Being a physical therapist is a great job, but you don't make the money compared to the amount of money that you spend to go to school. My total amount of student loan debt is $230,000, and that's combined from undergrad and graduate school. 2 years ago, I ended with about $180 something thousand, and now it's grown to $230,000 because of interest.
Listen to all that debt.
I'd rather live my life than throw thousands of dollars into trying to pay this debt off. And it's so much, I don't feel like right now that I just started my career 2 years ago that I could get ahead of this debt. I am on it.
Now, here's what I need you guys to understand. She's in that $200,000 worth of debt, traveling once a month, living a fabulous life. And kudos to you. But I need you guys to ask yourself a question right now. Do you think she's with a high value man? What do you think? Do you think she's with a high value man? And this is no insult to her boyfriend, her husband, her partner, or whatever. But just listening to the way this woman talks about money, do you think she's with a high value man? Yes or no?
Income-based plan. I pay a minimum amount for 20 to 25 years, and at the end of that year, I am able to have my loans discharged, but I do have to pay taxes on the amount that is discharged. I don't plan on waiting 20 to 25 years to see if that happens. I do plan on creating things and making investments so that I am able to tackle that loan when I do have a little bit more money.
There he is.
If anybody out there wants to be a physical therapist, please go to a state school because it's not worth it to go to a private school.
Private school to go become a physical therapist. Again, there's a high value lifestyle and there's a high value mindset. High value men understand something, that it's about the outcome. And I would say you're starting to see things fall into place. I mean, as far as looks goes, she's a solid adjustable 6. You know, she can go 6'8", but let's make no mistake, you know. Yeah, let's get into it.
The steps that I'm taking to reach my financial goal is to pay down as much of my car note and my credit card debt as fast as possible. And I also have about $2,000 in credit card debt, but that will be gone very soon.
Woo!
I can, I'll double up and pay $1,000 in a month just so I can hurry up and get my car note out of the way as well. He sent me a message one day, and then I realized that we had mutual friends. And then he asked me on a date, and we went to the movies at Atlantic Station for our first date. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7 years, and he is absolutely great. He does save me.
He sent you a message online, and y'all have been together 7 years, and he's absolutely great. Wow. Explain, the question I would ask if I had her on the phone. Why aren't you married? If he's so great, so wonderful, why aren't you married? Because if you guys remember months and months ago when I was talking about CJ King and we had the PhD that was there. What was her name? When I asked her, "Are you married?" No, I'm a PhD. Women like this get confused, thinking their value is their so-called job, which is a good job, but it ain't special. Physical therapist is a good job, but it ain't special. No one's changing the world with physical therapy. And $200,000 in debt, $230,000 in debt, and you're with a guy for 7 years. See, there are a lot of young women who would think this is a good life. And I'm going to say that no, not for you ladies who know you want to be married with children. She has made herself unattractive to most high-value men because of many things. We're going to get into it. But again, I asked, did you think her boyfriend or husband was going to be a high-value man? And I'm going to let it run on.
A lot of money because he buys all my groceries. Whenever we go out to eat, he pays for my food. He buys all my drinks. I don't spend a lot on...
Let me go ahead and rewind this shit. I need you to hear this.
If I can, I'll double up and pay $1,000 in a month just so I can hurry up and get my car note out of the way as well. He sent me a message one day, and then I realized that we had mutual friends. And then he asked me on a date, and we went to the movies at Atlantic Station for our first date. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7 years, and he is absolutely great. He does save me a lot of money because he buys all my groceries. Whenever we go out to eat, he pays for my food. He buys all my drinks. I don't spend a lot on gas because he drives me everywhere. And he even buys a lot of my clothes and shoes and bags, so that's pretty great. And he has the same philosophy about money that my dad has. So if you work hard, then you should reward yourself for all the hard work that you've done with either material things, vacation, or stuff like that. But he does invest too. He does day trading, and he's also a fashion designer, so he can make some of my clothes as well.
This is what I need you to understand. Women like this don't get high value men. And I am not, and this is no shot at the brother, but it's obvious who's running that relationship. She is the alpha, he's the beta. She is in charge, he's following. Someone got on camera and says, I've been with a man for 7 years and I haven't felt the need to take his name. But yet, he can drive me everywhere, pay for everything, and make my clothes. And this is what a lot of, why am I showing this? She is a lot of black women's fantasy. I never put something up without a purpose. See, they're going to put on, I would bet if I went through the catalog of CNBC, the white women, the Asian women, the Middle Eastern women, Hispanic women, I bet the women they would put up would run right in line with their culture. But this is a lot of black women's fantasy. I can go to school, go to grad school, travel, get in lots of debt, and I'll still have a long-term relationship with a man who loves my dirty draws. This is where a lot of men tend to push back against relationship and marriage. Hear me and hear me well. Women are a bad investment if she's not committed to you. Well, wait a minute, Godfather. I thought you said men should pay 100% of everything. And hypergamy is good. Yes, but there needs to be commitment. Legal commitment. She needs your last name before you invest that kind of money into her. Now, in the dating portion, great. But if you know you want to be married or have children, you need to date with the end in mind. Being with someone for 7 years, 7 months, much less 7 years, is ridiculous. See, now understand, she comes from a 2-parent household, but here's the thing. She caught her mother cheat, and her father was kind of do whatever you like. Can almost guarantee you that her father was probably raised by his mother. And what does all this have to do with anything? If you have her kind of mindset or energy, you are not visible to high value men. High value men look at this woman in a Chamber of Commerce meeting, in a Rotary Club, in a network, and they see right past her. They see a colleague at best, but not a potential. And if her and her boyfriend were to split, which they will, just like when I asked, what was that woman's name? The one that kept talking about juxtapose, juxtapose, juxtapose. You know, let me go find Miss Juxtaposition. Do you think they're gonna end up getting married? And if they do, is he gonna carry the baby?
I wanted to be featured on Millennial Money to let other millennials know that you can live the life that you want and live comfortably even if you have a large amount of student loan debt. I think the most important lesson that I've learned is to pay yourself first and
This is not what pay yourself first means. Please, Erica Williams, brother Antoine Wade, Andre Hatchett, my financial people. I don't try to do everything. Please, someone straighten this young lady out and the concept of paying yourself first. Wow.
invest a lot of money, and don't let student loan debt hinder you from living the life that you want. Because I know a lot of people in the US have a lot of student loan debt and they don't really know how to tackle it, but don't let it consume your life.
Don't let it consume your life. Fair use, fair use, fair freaking use. So why was that important? Well, it was important because in places where a lot of women don't talk about, a lot of black women don't talk about, that's their fantasy life. That's their fantasy life. I can have this guy, and then one day I can decide to get married to the guy, and he can do all this stuff for me. So where is that at? Where is it at? CJ King. Hold on. I'm looking at all the stuff Ramil Amir and I did. All right. What am I looking for? Anyway, the woman I was referring to, I asked, about, she called into the show and she had a lot to say about CJ King saying he's the prize. And she was really ticked off at your godfather. Maybe this is it. Where am I missing it? Oh, here it is. Let me get into this. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember that video? Yeah, there it is. Tiffany.
It was one word. And that's what the last call, that's what Tiffany is going back for. All these words. What does this mean? What does that mean? We're going to buy. Okay? That's why I let it go. Because it doesn't really matter what a black, and this is what so many young black, this is why they're leaving you. Sisters, understand, this is why young black men are leaving you. Because they don't have to put up with this level of disrespect, insults, and just outright hostility for just being.
That was an epic video. Men are the prize. Finish him. The CJ King thing. And what you notice is a lot of women, a lot of our sisters think going to college
Just being.
and making six figures makes you high value. No, ma'am, it doesn't. A woman's value is not based upon her income or educational achievements. A woman's value is measured much differently. Men of value look at women for their, and for many things, but a big portion is decision-making ability. You went to a private school to go get an average degree and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. And then you pile debt upon debt upon debt upon debt. She has a house, $230,000 in student loan debt. So, when I talk about being in
Danger zone!
unfortunately, a lot of educated black women like herself lock themselves into an area to where they are not attracted to high value men. They hear, remember I talked about the jobs, the career paths? A lot of these, again, here we are. So how do we get here? 7 years to be married. Okay. See, and when you talk about things like this, it frustrates a lot of people, a lot of black women in particular, because they think they're winning. They think they are winning. But if you were winning, why would you be with the man for 7 years and not be married? 7 years. Thanks, Nate. 7 years. Guys, let's get the likes up, man. I've gone ahead and asked you guys twice. Now it's time to hit the song. Get my likes up. Get my likes up. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up.
Shit. So, we can try this again, Tip.
So we go back to a video I did a while ago when C.J. King talked about him being the prize, and it ticked a lot of black women off that a black man actually had the nerve to say something like that.
Wanting that?
Hold on, ma'am. I have to. This is a dialogue. All he said was he was the
Right.
prize.
I wasn't
Hold
finished.
on. Well, this is a dialogue, so this is how this is going to go. All he said is he was the prize, and that because of where he is. He didn't flaunt it. Did you read what he wrote?
I did. Respectfully, I wasn't finished.
Well,
and that's why I
respectfully,
was trying
ma'am,
to
this is my
conclude.
show, and this is how it's going
Yes,
to go.
but if you wanted a dialogue,
Well,
the issues
okay.
that I
Here's one
had
thing
was
that's not going to happen.
necessarily what
Here's
he's
one thing
saying
that's
that
not
was
going to.
pride.
Here's one thing that's not going to happen. This is my show. You're going to respect my show as it is, or you are not going to talk to me.
Is that is juxtaposed. His success is
Did you hear
juxtaposed
me?
against black women. Yes, can you hear me?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, did you hear what I said?
No, I muted you because you were talking
Okay.
over me, and that's rude when you come onto someone's platform. I'm running
So
five
what I
people.
said,
Did you understand
so
what
what
I
I
said?
said was,
Did you understand what I said, ma'am?
yeah, I think maybe there's a lag.
Okay,
Can
do
hear
you
me?
understand that? Okay, there's a lag. So what I need you to do is if I start talking, please, I'm saying something for a reason. Don't just talk over me.
Right, but you cut me off. So
That's
go
okay.
ahead.
I can do that. I run the show. If that's a problem,
well,
then you
what
don't
was your
need to be
question?
here.
But you asked me a question,
And I'm
right?
going to
You asked
continue
me
to
a
ask you
question?
questions.
Okay. So what's your question?
I said that he only said he was the prize once. He didn't pound his chest or didn't drone on about it. So you mischaracterized what he said.
No, I didn't. That was not my issue that I took with the post. May I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So the issue is that he juxtaposed his success against black women. What's wrong with simply just being successful?
He juxtaposed it against the women who are going to be, he's going to be out here dating. What did he say about black women that was incorrect? Factually wrong.
I think that he made several generalized statements about what black women think or believe
Ma'am,
and what we
ma'am,
want.
ma'am,
Yes?
no. What he did is he quoted facts, statistics, and data that can be pulled readily from a website called blackdemographics.com. And these facts are not in question.
He did, but the
So
issue
what is wrong
that
about saying
you
those?
don't have
So
to.
what is wrong about saying those things?
He's created a narrative that his success somehow has to be juxtaposed against black women.
You
It's
didn't
just
answer
simply
my
not
question.
necessary.
No, you didn't answer my
I
question.
did answer your question.
So by saying that black women typically don't want to date down, is that true or false?
What's his definition of dating down? Having a JD does not
Dating
mean that
down,
I'm
if you're going
dating
to
down.
ask me a question, I'm going to answer. Dating down is black women tend to want a man who has at least what she has educationally and in income wise. Dating down would be somebody is hold on. Dating down would mean dating down would mean you're a college educated woman and you're dating a non-college educated man. That could be considered dating down. Dating down could mean you're making one income and the man you're dating is making less than you. Those are two
Yes,
examples
but
of
right
dating
now
down.
he has potential. He doesn't have a job.
You
right?
asked about dating
And
down. We're not going to move the ball. He just said
no,
black
I'm
women
saying
don't.
that your definition of dating down.
Sugar P, what's going on? See,
Hello?
guys, let me
Remember
say
her?
something. Daisha. Let me tell you one thing. If you want to get what you want to get out of life, what you just saw happen.
You guys remember her?
Cannot help you.
Miss Juxtapose.
You cannot be combative with men
Miss,
just because you disagree. And when
I'm
someone's
going
trying
to
to
talk
talk to you,
over
you
you.
cannot just talk over them and disrespect them. You said you're a little bit nervous because you're talking to me and my 50,000 subscribers and my 500 people
we're getting there,
watching.
guys. If you
I have
haven't
a
heard
woman
this,
here
pay attention.
who's talking to me like I ain't shit, or she can just talk to me in any kind of way. And I'm all wrong. And I'm trying to have a respectful dialogue, but it's hard to have a respectful dialogue with someone who ultimately has no respect for your position. So, this is what tends to plague a lot of black women. And this is what this brother was referring to. And anybody with any common sense and can look at observable reality knows that nothing that man said was incorrect. He said black women don't want to date down. Black women have
That's true.
a list. Rebecca Lynn Pope, Miss Tiffany Bolden. If you go to Rebecca Lynn Pope's video right on YouTube that has almost 1 million views, a popular matchmaker here in Atlanta talks about why she stopped being a matchmaker for black women because black women's expectations in their mates were ridiculous, unrealistic. This information is not without dispute, but the fact that a black man, an actual accomplished black man, had the nerve to actually speak it is offensive to the point to where we can't even have a conversation with somebody who comes to my show to where, no, you're going to check this shit. So we can try this again, Tiffany. If you like to speak and be on the panel with everybody else, please try to do like everybody else on the panel. No one else has a problem with this but you.
What is it that you believe that I have a problem with?
It seems that you have a problem with the way that I run the panel.
No, I don't have a problem with how you run the panel. You asked me a question, I was trying to answer it. And I think that you're going off in a direction that is not actually, part of what I was actually thinking. And so then we start having a conversation about something that I wasn't trying to have a conversation on because it wasn't my
but
belief.
that's not. But what you want to have a conversation on, the respect, ma'am, is not the point. Somebody said, "I bet that woman is single." No, she's not. She has a long-term relationship. Her boyfriend actually came onto my panel, my platform, many times, and he actually came onto the show the other day. I mean, later on that week. Pay attention. The point is, he said what he said. I just JD. I've entered a new arena for black men. In this arena, I'm now the prize. Don't take my word for it, though. Before you kill me in the comments, let me drop some stats. Black women outnumber black men by 2 million. Is that true or false?
Yeah, no, the statistics are true.
Okay.
We're not debating statistics.
Okay, well, no,
ma'am, with the statistics.
No, but the majority, his post was all statistics. After that first 2 sentences, it was black women outnumber black men by 2 million. Black women don't want to deal with the black man who's gay or down low. Her name's not Ebony, it's Tiffany.
That's true.
That has baby mama issues. Is that true or false? It's this woman right here.
I think that that's true on both ends for men
Has
and
a
women.
felony,
We don't
conviction,
want
or
to deal
criminal
with,
record.
with drama on either end.
Felony, conviction, or criminal record. Is that true or false?
Debatable.
So
the way that we are over-policed.
So black women do want to deal with men who have felonies, criminal records, and convictions.
I say that there's a lot of black men.
This is a yes or no question.
Felonies.
No, ma'am. There's no
There are
gray.
a lot of black
There's
men
no
who
gray
have
area
received
here.
felonies.
Either black women do want to choose to deal with, who want to deal with this, or don't want to deal with this.
No, I would think that if given the choice, that black women
you
would
do have a
probably
choice.
not want to deal with that.
That's the thing. And here's the thing. It is a choice. And he's in one of those.
But we also,
hold on, ma'am. He is one of those men who are outside of that choice. That means it's getting more narrow. So ask yourself a question. Why am I having to go back and forth on a show where I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women in the chat room, in the call-in, who we all agreed to a lesser or greater extent. One woman was married for 20 plus years with 3 children. But yet, the most educated of them all was the most combative of them all. And was coincidentally also what you tend to see, unfortunately, is a through line for far too many of our sisters. Their education makes them, they use it in a masculine way. It's like competition. You can feel this woman thinks she's my equal. We're equals in her mind. Forget the fact that I'm older, more accomplished, or whatever. Nope. You're going to see what it comes down to and how this links in just a second. That's what he said. Black women typically, so statistically, 37% of black men are in jail, while 1/3 of black men have some sort of criminal record. That automatically makes the pool less of the 2 million, and there are 2 million more, and he's narrowing down the pool. Black women typically don't want to date down and prefer a black man who is on the same playing field with her or higher. Is that true or false?
I'd say sometimes it's true.
Sometimes it's true. So sometimes black women want to date down?
I wouldn't characterize it that way.
Well,
I
that's
would
the way
say
it's being
that there are a lot
characterized.
of
Okay,
women.
so black women
No,
do
there's a
want to
lot of
date down
women
or
who
not?
would.
I'm just trying to be, just so we're all on the same page. I know you don't like the way it's being said, but we got to be on the same page. Are you saying that black women do want to date down or don't want to date down?
I would say that a lot of black women would choose to date a man that
Do you
respects
want to
them than
date
date a man
up,
that
ma'am?
makes
Can you
more and
answer the
disrespects
question?
them.
Okay, we're going to do this one more time. If you don't want to answer the questions as they go, I'm going to put you off the panel.
I mean, I've answered your
No, you
question,
haven't.
sir. I haven't answered it the way that you
Hey,
want me
and
to,
that's
but
a
I have
problem.
answered the question.
And that's a problem. And ultimately, that's a problem, man.
I'm answering your
Well,
questions. Okay.
I consider it
If
a
you want to put
counselor.
me off the panel because you're
Counselor, I consider it to be unresponsive. See, you know when I talk a lot about good faith, this woman did not come into this conversation in good faith. You can count how many times she used the word juxtapose, and the laughing was other women laughing at her. So, high value men, I think a lot of women just think that their education and their income makes you high value, and this is what high value men don't want. So, your education and your income by itself is not the problem. It's your attitude and ego that goes along with it that can make you unattractive to the very men you say you want. This is called so I'm questioning her, like I'm cross-examining her. And I would say, Judge, permission to treat the witness as hostile. And I would say, you're being unresponsive. See, I'm good at what I do. And the fact of the matter is your positions are full of crap. And I'm picking them apart, and you don't like it. Ultimately, this black man did nothing that the rank and file black woman who's accomplished something does not do. And this is a problem. And I have yet to hear what the problem is. He has not lied. Black women want to date down. And I actually have a woman on the panel sitting out here splitting hairs whether or not women want to date down. Do any of the ladies on the panel
That's not true.
Do any of the ladies on the panel know women who say, you know what, I choose to date down? That's what I really want to do. Is that norm? Is that the norm? Okay.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
Tiffany. Why is that so hard for you to say, okay, if other women are saying, no, I don't know any women who typically want to date down.
Why is it hard for you to understand that
Not
a
just
man
me.
that is
It's not just me.
abusive
It's other
or
people on the panel.
arrogant or people that you haven't muted then?
Because you're the only ones being combative.
I'm not being combative.
Okay, you're
I'm
right.
speaking my mind.
You're
If I
right.
don't agree
You're
with
right.
you,
You're right.
right?
You're answering. You're being perfectly respectable. You're answering the questions directly. You are doing it all right, sis. I'm wrong. It's me.
What if you were though?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It is me.
Okay.
I'm
so
wrong.
what I'm saying is that you
561 people in the chat
haven't-
room. 561 people in the
It's
chat
okay.
room. Is it? If put your hand in the air. If it's Tiffany, give me a 2 if it's Tiffany or 1 if it's me.
That was pathetic.
561 people, because apparently the other 3 women on the panel don't matter either. So I'm wrong. The other women on the panel are wrong. So let's see what the 561 of you guys think. 2 if Tiffany's wrong, 1 if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Get the likes up, folks. But as we get on waiting down, what they're saying, with this massive criteria, black women, that black women don't want in dating a black man.
Also,
they
guys,
have
we're gonna open the
essentially
call lines.
drastically
We're gonna open the call
limited
lines.
the dating pool of
We're gonna need at
viable
least
black
10
men.
more people to throw something in the
Is
super
that
chat
true
or
or
the
false?
Cash App or something. Don't let the folks to put the 99 up there
Are you addressing
keep
me?
you from
Yes.
putting your $2 in.
What's your definition of viability?
Ladies, do you see the problem here?
Yes.
Do you see the problem here? Now we're gonna debate the definition of is. And this is how we're
No,
this
but
is how
viability.
we're supposed to actually interact with black women and try to actually build relationships and build communities.
I got a question for a lot of black women who think there's nothing wrong with what she's talking about. Has your education and your income made you easier to deal with or more difficult to deal with?
How is your education and income helping you in relationships with black men? Because I know black women who are educated and accomplished, who are working with men just fine and recognize it as a possibility. But I also know black women who recognize that they have gotten into their masculine energy by getting closed off and relying upon their income and their education as the sword and shield against the world. Okay? Here's what happens with a lot of our sisters. They end up getting hurt or trauma or something like that, and then they retreat into themselves, put up a sword, a shield with their education, and a sword with their job. And that's what they go to war with all the black men with. Instead of trying to use it to work with black men. So it's not that black men are intimidated by your job or your money. It's this. And there are plenty of people who would say she's high value because of her education and income. But value means utility to someone else. Is she useful to an individual black man? And is she useful to a group?
Community requires communication.
No. Communication, and that means what? That we do what you want to do? Because you came onto my show and you don't even want to try to operate according to what I'm doing. And I'm using this as an object lesson. Now I asked you what is viable. I said that to drastically limit the pool of viable men. Viable according to education, criminal record, sexual orientation, everything that the brother outlined. And you're going to actually say what makes viable.
Okay, so you're based off of that definition of viability, yes, but that is not my definition of viability.
Ma'am, we're not debating your definition of viability. We're debating the man's post, not what you think of. And we're just making sure we're on the same page. Okay.
Right, but the issue that you think I have with the post is not the issue.
Okay. You see why 70% of these women go unmarried. Additionally, black women want their mates to be attractive, have some sort of edge, style, exciting, and not be lame. All this is subjective, but we know these are X factors, which lowers the number of viable black men. All these things are true, even if some of them are subjective. The problem is, what was wrong with what he posted, Tiffany? Hold on. I think we're about to get
My
to it.
issue again is that he did not have to juxtapose his successes against black women. It's just entirely unnecessary.
Seriously.
May I say more?
So I want to be clear. You're saying that he should have just said, "I'm the prize," but he shouldn't have said anything about black women that is factually accurate or true. So let me ask you.
No,
Hold
I'm
on.
not saying
So
that
let
he
me.
should
No,
have
no.
said
That
that
was a
he's the
rhetorical
prize.
question. So do you hold this same position for black women when they're speaking about themselves?
Certainly.
Notice the question I asked. Do you hold this same position about black women when they speak about themselves? They should just speak about themselves. They should not they should not talk about black men at all. Sisters, is your education and your income being used to help you with your men or to turn you against your men? So black women who talk about themselves, they should never bring up black men and juxtapose their accomplishments against black men. Uh-oh. Ike in the chat room. Big Ike in the chat room.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not be king and will not.
Ike is the only person on the channel that has his own super chat sound. Only person. That's the Ike sound.
I don't think it's healthy.
No. That's not what I asked. I asked, do you hold that position for black women?
Yes, I do.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm going to test that.
Okay.
So the Pay fact attention. that he actually had the nerve gets to good bring from up here. something about black women that was true was problematic. Why?
It's unnecessary. Like,
You no no
why?
you
Why
said you
insert
said it's unnecessary. That's subjective. But why do you say it's unnecessary?
the blowback came from the juxtaposition of his success against Black women. It's not a necessary conversation to have. And I think it's an overgeneralization as to what Black women actually want.
Well, all he
Yes,
said
there
was,
are
hold
some
on, man,
women.
overgeneralization. That no, we don't get that one. All he stated was facts.
He stated facts that there's a lot of ways that you can state facts to create
But
a
here's
narrative that
one
is not
fact. Okay,
necessarily the
what
one
did
that
your
you would
husband say
have.
about this?
What?
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm,
Listen to how off throwed she was. She was thrown off when I said, what does your husband say about it? I need you guys to listen to, I'm not even going to fill in the word right here. Fill in whatever word you want to fill in when she says what. I need you to write, what does that sound like? Give me an adjective. What does that sound like? I'm going to play it again. Give me the word that describes how she said what?
not
Hold on.
married. I don't want to state facts to create
But
a
here's
narrative that
one
is not
fact.
necessarily
Okay,
the
what
one
did
that
your
you would
husband say
have.
about this?
What?
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations. But that was
Thank you.
unnecessary, right?
Nope, because
No. You just
I
no,
don't go
ma'am.
around saying
I
that
just
I'm the
asked you about
contract.
marriage. So I just asked you about marriage, and you juxtaposed it against your education.
Yes,
That was
because I'm trying
unnecessary.
to give you context.
That's
I'm giving you
unnecessary.
context about the prize
That's
conversation.
unnecessary, according to your way
Okay.
of thinking. So I asked you simply, okay, you're not married. What did your boyfriend and or the man in your life say about this?
Say about what
This
specifically?
conversation, because you're having it with me, so I'm assuming you had it. See, notice how she talked all that shit about you just need to stick to the point. And you didn't need to bring up anything else and juxtapose and juxtapose and juxtapose and juxtapose. When I asked her, all right, what does your husband have to say about this subject? What? She was offended that I had the nerve to ask her about a man. And this woman has a boyfriend, or had a boyfriend at the time of making this. She said, I have a boyfriend. And she said he was there. And he's actually, the person she said was her boyfriend came over to my show the next day. Heck, he was even in the chat room for a while and in Facebook group. I let him kind of hang out. But I'm not going to lie. I'm like, any dude that's kicking it with this ain't in charge of nothing. She's one in that relationship. She was offended. And then when I asked her why, she's like, I would not choose to be married. I'm a PhD. I asked her about husband, and she said PhD. Oh yeah, we got to go back to that. Him. Case.
Yes.
That was like,
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations. Say about this.
What?
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations. But that was
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations. But that was
Thank you.
And notice that she juxtaposed her PhD against being a wife. The worthiness of coupling, the worthiness of marriage, the worthiness of relationship. She didn't need to be serious. She didn't need to marry her boyfriend, who she claimed that they had been together for years, because she had a PhD. See, a lot of you guys think I just pull shit out of my butt and just making it up. And I'm like, no, I've lived life. I've experienced life. And I know too many women like this. Heck. And then you see this woman on CNBC. We met online and he buys everything for me, does everything. And we've been together 7 years. And then you wonder why someone like myself comes along and says the chances of you getting a high value husband are slim to none. The more education you have or the more money you make. Because too many of our sisters have not learned to not use their education and their income as a weapon against black men who are not your enemy. Non-black women can go to college. Non-black women can go achieve. They can go earn money, and they can still become wives and mothers, and not look at their men as combatants. But far too many of our women get it completely screwed up when it comes to high value. Get it all wrong when it comes to being high value. And they think because they have a degree that's master's or PhD, or they earn over $80,000 a year, that automatically makes them high value. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I'm here to tell you, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, and it never will. And I will tell you that all the men that those women are with, they don't have any real respect for those guys. They are running those relationships. That is another reason why these women won't get married or deal with anybody, because cooperation is hard enough. Forget submission. Forget that. That ain't gonna happen, buddy. But as we get into it, I mean, if you didn't see that video, go back and check it out. It was epic.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Y'all like Ike's song?
Money work.
Big Ike.
Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla
I'm a
con dinero.
PhD. I'm a PhD.
Money work.
I'm a PhD. I'm a
La
PhD.
plata no te hace ser feliz.
I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
And we'll take Tiara any day over your PhD. She's a PhD.
Se arregla con dinero.
Tell them about Tiara. Lunático. Who would not prefer to have a smiling Tiara versus Miss what? 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 Marriage? I would choose not to be married. I'm a PhD. Oh, but you got a man? Yes. And are you useful to him? Oh, Ike came back through. Everybody like Ike's song? You want to hear Ike's song? Everybody get ready for Big Ike's one and only song. He has his one and only sound effect. 3, 2, 1.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not. Will not be the king and will not.
That right, Bo? Ike has his own, the one and only person that has his only song. I am a king, will not be denied. There we go. Good shit, Ike. Hope you like it. I had to find something that I felt was fitting. See, I'm a PhD should not be something you say when you ask a woman whether or not what your husband has to say. I mean, I'm sorry, did I ask, where's your master? I'm a PhD. Oh, so being PhD means you can't have a husband. You got to get on camera in order for me to put you on the screen. Yeah, you don't have to be on YouTube, but you do have to be on this. All right, Marie, I'm about to put you on. I need you to be sitting down somewhere, though. I need you walking around because I need you to be able to focus on the conversation. All right, ready? Let's go. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm a PhD. She's a PhD. Go ahead. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. So what do women get wrong about being high value?
I think maybe they focus more on the education and not necessarily trying to get married, and maybe they put marriage in the back burner until maybe they're older in life.
How old, how old are you?
27.
27. So what do you have for me? Did you have a question? Or did you call in on the topic? What do you have?
I mean, this is my first time calling,
Okay.
and I mean, I've seen a couple of your videos, and
Okay. You have a question?
I mean, no, not necessarily. I just wanted to call to
All right.
let you know that I enjoy your content and everything.
Okay. I appreciate it, but if you don't have a question, I'm gonna get to somebody that does have a question. I'll put you back in the waiting room. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Marie. All right. Vanessa. Uh-oh. What's the problem here, Vanessa? What do women get wrong about being high value? How come you can't go to college and have a career and have a husband? I mean, what's up?
So, I think it's really just a lot of women. Like, let's take the man on Instagram, for example. I think it's the way he worded it, really,
Mm-hmm.
He is on his way to being high value. I would say he's, being a lawyer is definitely high value. But just saying that he's the prize and things like that, I think women want to feel like they're the prize. So I think just the way he worded it and just the way it seemed like he was bragging.
Let me ask you a question.
I feel like
How
real
old
high
are you?
value men-
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. You know what, Vanessa? I can hear that. But if a white man had said the same thing, would he get the pushback from white women?
You know what? Probably not.
No.
I'm going to be honest.
If an Asian man had said it, would he get the pushback from Asian women? If any other race of men would have said what he said, would he have gotten the pushback a black man got from black women?
No.
Then it's not the way he worded it. It's the woman.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it is a cultural thing. I will say I'm actually part Japanese, and in
Well, arigato. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm 51, and I get people talking shit about me. Who are you? How are you? I mean, it doesn't matter how you word it. I really doesn't matter. See, a black man really is um, being part Japanese. People are probably going to discount things you say, but you know this culture. It's a
Only a little bit. Only a
well,
little
this
bit.
is a
My
matriarchal
grandmother is
culture.
Japanese.
Black women are not accustomed to black men standing up saying, no, you're the prize, I'm a catch. You want to be a queen. A queen is subordinate to a king. You have to have a leader. Is your mother or father Japanese?
My mother.
Okay. Is she from Japan or was she born here?
Yes, she was actually raised in Japan until she was 15.
Okay. And how did your mother and father meet? Did they meet in the States?
They did. My father is black.
So did she keep the cultural representation of traditional Japanese, or did she become westernized?
Oh yeah, I mean yes, I can speak Japanese and things like that, but my father is
Right.
he is very typically black.
All right. So, and see, the thing is, when I was in New York City, my girlfriend was Korean and Japanese. Uh, and me, I've had an extensive history with dealing with people from the Asian culture. I have 3 different black belts. So your mother, you talk about patriarchy in Japan.
Oh yes, very
Do
big.
you know how to do the tea ceremony?
I do actually.
Okay.
That was something my grandmother taught me.
I'll say, so are you married?
I am not, but I do have a fiance.
All right. And is he black man?
He is. Well, he is half black.
Okay.
So.
So are you on the West Coast, East Coast, North, South?
East Coast.
All right. Do you notice that your way of moving through the world as a black woman is different than black women who may come straight up ADOS, black mother, black father, coming from the straight up black culture? Because you have a Japanese mother who comes from a patriarchal society. Do you?
Well, my mom is a quarter black. I know that seems really weird, but she is a quarter black. But I mean, I guess she's mostly Japanese.
So,
I do.
but she came. But
I
she was
do
born in
think-
Japan.
Yes,
All right.
on a military.
I was gonna say
base.
what part of the military? Because yeah, there's some military in there somewhere. But the point still remains. At 26 years old and you're engaged, how many black women can expect to be married in their lifetime? What percentage?
I'm not too familiar with the statistics, but I would say 30%. I think.
25 or 26. 1 in 4 versus half the women in the that's half the rate of every other woman in this country. Education is not keeping black women from being married. Because if it was, the other women should. Why are black women getting such a different outcome? The higher value they become, the more education, the more income, the more they go up. Why are they seeing a dip in marriages, or then even marriages with men who are higher value than them? Got anything on that?
Yes. So I really think that first it kind of starts from, I'm going to say, when they're young. I have a lot of black female friends, some much older than me, 45, are married.
And are they married?
No, they are not.
Of course
married.
not.
And I think a lot of them are, still looking for a high value man, but they still kind of have that attitude and they don't want to lose the weight. That is a huge, that's a huge issue. And I'm actually a teacher.
No
and
pun
that's
intended.
something,
So you got.
I
So, are you? What I'm hearing you say is you hear black women who want to be married, but they don't want to do what it takes to become a wife.
not all of them. I can't generalize like that, but yes, some of them definitely.
Are you saying
be
some
like
of them
that, but
some of them want to be married, or some of them? Okay, of
No,
the
but
ones
I-
that want to be married, are they willing to do the work?
Some of them are. I think there's a movement where, people are really realizing like, hey, I can't be, overweight. I can't portray this stereotypical I don't need a man attitude. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. And I
Right.
know a lot of black women who are seeing that, who are saying like, I don't have to fight like,
Right.
you know, a man. I can be soft and feminine and still have a PhD. You know, I have a master's.
But my question is,
I'm
are
looking
they
for my PhD
the
now.
question I have though is, you mentioned that these the majority of the women you're speaking of, are they older than you or are they your age?
I would say about 50% are my age, and then the rest are older than me. I do have a lot of older friends.
Well, the problem with being an older woman is you're 26. At 45, coming to this knowledge, they're competing against women your age. I mean, hell, I hear I'm 55 years old and I'm stealing 29-year-old wives on media takeout because
I mean, that's really true. I think that that's why some women are kind of going towards other races as well, because you know, black men do look a lot nicer when they are older, so I do think they
what do you
can
mean
go
going towards
towards
other
like,
races? You mean dating out?
yeah, I think that dating out is starting to become a movement. You know, like in the past, black women
But
only dated out
yeah,
6%.
but is it
Um,
working?
for some,
Okay,
you know,
let's cut to the chase. Dating out for we keep score by marriages. Dating is one thing. Let's talk about marrying out. Are you seeing a mass movement or success there for black women? Marriage, legal state sponsored marriage.
in my area, maybe a little bit. I do live in DC, so maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
But overall,
What
I'd say
percentage?
no.
Okay, what percentage of black women would you say are marrying out versus the percentage of black women that are marrying black?
Let's see. I think the majority of black women are still marrying black men.
Put
I
a number
wouldn't
to
say
it.
that.
I'm much a stickler because majority can be 51 to 99.999. So when you say marrying out, dating out, I'm going to push that one because I don't see black women marrying non-black men. I don't see it in any large numbers.
That's true. I mean, 12% definitely isn't large, but I do think that there is, you know, I mean,
And that's funny. And the women and the black women you're talking about, is it more likely when a black woman marries out that she marries up as well?
you know, I don't know about that. I wouldn't say yes every single time. I've seen beautiful, you know, black women with a man that I
Now, understand, we don't judge a man on his beauty. We judge a man on his value.
no, I know, not
But
just his
black women
not
who
just his
marry,
beauty.
see, if you can't see, the funny thing is, you've admitted that you have friends that are your age and older who are mostly unmarried, who have a lot of the same complaints you hear in these spaces, but 50% of them are willing to do the work. The others are not willing to do the work. That's a bad thing because you're not going to do the work. You're not going to get the results. But of the ones that are willing to do the work, they require more from black men than they require from other men. Because you hear black women always talking about, I don't want to settle or date or marry down, but that doesn't hold for Brad, Lee, Ahmed, and Enrique. That only holds for black men.
You know, I do agree with that, and I think part of that is some black women, you know, have that daddy issue basically, where they're taking that, oh, my father maybe wasn't there for me, or he wasn't there for me the way I wanted. This is not all black women, but you know, some of them have that and they portray that attitude on black men. Is that fair? Absolutely not. But does it happen? Definitely.
Well, it
I mean,
happens, and that's why I say the first thing that everybody needs is therapy, because it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And the
yes,
net
I
of
agree.
it, I would just ask black women: is what you're doing working? Do you have any serious marital prospects in the next 12 months? If not, don't argue with me. I appreciate you calling in, sis. I'm gonna get to somebody else.
Thank you.
When are you guys going down the aisle?
Well, we were scheduled for later this year, but COVID happened.
All right, well, get down now before you start making babies.
Thank you.
All right, then. Talk at you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. And that was V, y'all. Bye, V. See, I know a lot of people will give her crap because, you know, she's not, well, I don't want to hear nothing if she's not 100% black. No, that's not the case. Okay, Dr. Faye. Go ahead. You need to unmute yourself. I'm going to unmute you again. Unmute. Hello.
All right, there we go. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I have to say, when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm gonna have to do some podcasts with you. Need some interesting topics. I love your perspective. So
you first heard about
my question to you
said
would be, I know you said you want to have questions.
Hold on, you said you first heard about me. You said,
I did, because I was hearing some things that had me questioning. I was like,
you heard it come from me, or you heard somebody say something about me?
Somebody, I have a close friend who really follows you a lot, and he's a part of the mix as well.
Okay.
And he just kept talking about you to the point where I was like, I need to tune in and learn more about this man.
Okay, what's going on?
So I've been watching for a minute. I'm listening to tonight's episode, of course, and your topic, what many women get wrong about being high value.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard the sister who said she had a PhD and then she just kind of like, I don't know what that was about. But I think a lot of women mistake high value as a woman to be equivalent to the same high value that a man offers.
Well,
so
yeah.
they equate, oftentimes we equate our value with what's the income, education level, all these things that a man really, in all honesty, doesn't really care about. Some men do, which is awesome. I could list out things, but that's unimportant. But a lot of men, in my opinion, just want somebody that can be loving, that's pleasant, can cook, household things. I was raised by my grandparents born in 1928. So my granddad always said one thing. He said, you will be a lady and you will be wife material, no matter what choices you make.
There you go.
So with all the degrees and all the stuff I do, coaching people, writing books, all of that, at the end of the day, my personality, character, ability to love, ability to bear children, I've learned that holds way more value. And I think a lot of women, especially nowadays, get confused with the ideas because of how meshed things have come.
What do you mean?
Together.
Man.
Like, everybody's the same. Everyone can do the same thing. Everyone's equal. And I'm not downing that we are equal as far as human beings and existing and,
Oh, I'm downing it. I'm downing that shit real. When the zombie apocalypse happens, you want me to go out swinging the bat because you just can't, you don't have the strength. I mean,
there you go.
So, all right. So if you had a friend tell you need to kind of look at what I'm doing, where are the spaces that you're normally going to interact with women or consume media or content?
Well, I'm a content creator, so I actually have my own podcast that I do.
Is it on?
And I also do a lot of lives and things like that. And
Here on YouTube, or do you do it on Instagram or Facebook?
I do Facebook, and then I have a show on iHeart called Grown Folks Talking Live as well.
See?
And then I sometimes stream to YouTube and then back to Facebook using Zoom and things like that.
Facebook, see, these worlds are coming together.
Yeah.
YouTube is a male-dominated platform. Facebook, female-dominated platform. And these conversations are going to spin into one another at some point, because at the end of the day, your education and your income should not prohibit you from being a mother and a wife and being useful to your man and society.
I agree.
And I think we can all agree on that. And my question is, for the woman who was the PhD on the previous video, and even to the first young lady on that video, how useful are you to your man and society? And that takes it away from a lot of the submission arguments and a lot of the one-on-one stuff that can get us in the weeds. What kind of feedback are you getting from women when you start talking about being a lady and being the things your grandparents taught you?
With my inner tribe, the women I deal with, we all just kind of agree with that stuff. And then we add to it that we're also the spiritual protector.
Okay.
So we take care of praying for our man, making sure he good. And in turn, those men actually treat us with a great deal of respect. And the ones who aren't able to do that, we don't even ascertain. As far as on my podcast, some people get upset with the things I say because I do tell people to take responsibility.
Right.
To check themselves, to also recognize. I came up with a term, feminine toxicity, because everyone talks about toxic masculinity, but I'm like, women can also be toxic and abusive and damaging.
Right.
And highly, highly dismissive and judgmental and hurtful as well. And oftentimes women will justify that to say, I've been through this, I've been through that, it's okay. And I just don't agree with that because I've been through some atrocious events since youth.
Okay.
And I still love men. I still appreciate men. I can still nurture a man. Therefore, from personal experience, I can say there's no excuse to mistreat somebody based on your past. And if you're doing that, I highly suggest that they get a coach, whomever that may be, that they find some type of service. So that's one reason that I do those lives. And I do a lot of sessions with women, a lot of healing work. Because that inner healing is really important. And oftentimes they get upset.
So do you actually, okay. So one thing I noticed that one of my issues with a lot of femininity, women who coach women, is I don't see any men around these spaces. Meaning, when I'm teaching men, I'm talking to men, women are allowed on my platform. Even women who vehemently disagree. I think it's important that, you can hear at least a critique, whether it's justified or not. But what I tend to see is I don't see a lot of men around these women's spaces. I mean, men. I mean, the guys I tend to see a little bit of, hey, blue pill, noodle back. Hey, you go ahead, you queen, you pom-pom. And it's like, okay, because here's the thing. I'm good hearing women coach and talk to each other and heal, but at the end of the day, you got to present them to the world. And if the men aren't picking them, then we got to give. This is what a lot of women don't like to hear. You want men to get married, you got to present them with a better product. So how are you making a move onto YouTube in a bigger way?
That's the plan. That's the trajectory. I'm working with a team now in order to go ahead and restructure that and bring everything back out, rebuild the website, redo branding.
Okay, well,
in regards to men, though,
go ahead.
I guess I'm fortunate. I have a lot of men that actually join my platforms, and they also apply the fact that I stand up for them and advocate for them. And so I guess that's different from what I hear.
Well, it is. And that's the thing.
Because I welcome men. Like when I say I love men, my first book is called The Men We Choose, that outlines their personalities. Like I really love men and took time to go to barbershops, interview men, sit in the barbershop. I was one of those women that was allowed to sit in there. Interview.
Doctor, do me a favor. I got some more people I'm putting in, but email me. My email address is info@bykevinsimmons.com. It'll pop up at the end of the show. I like to get in contact offline to see if there's any synergy right here.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Let me say something, guys. Let me say this again. Make it clear as day. I don't care what your stance is. Women over here, men over here. If you want to have anything that resembles a family, a community, anything, you're going to have the women are going to have to be involved in it somewhere. They're 51% of the population. And the women who are trying to hear what men are having to say, trying to get on the same page, trying to break the cycle, whatever words you want to use, it is the men's responsibility to vet their talking points, to Make sure, check them up and down to make sure. Let me look at your eyeballs, take blood tests. All right, you have no pathogens. You're clean. We trust you. But we got to get those women air cover. Men have to give the women who are trying to do the right thing air cover, because the women will kill them will savage them. Oh, you're a pick me, you're a mammy, you're this. They'll beat them down. And then on the other side, you got a lot of men who will sit back and say, y'all all the same, such and so forth. So it is men's responsibility to vet them. But once you say, oh, okay, she needs to give some air cover, that's not a pass, that's air cover. And then enough rope to hang themselves. Make no mistake, ladies. I'm not just saying we just take your DNA exam. No. You're going to have to prove it. But you're going to get enough rope to hang yourself. Like in my Facebook group. It is a men's group, but the women are our welcome guests. And as such, when you come to my house, you have free reign of the house. You get it. When you're a guest in my home, you it's like you live there, except you cannot drive my car and you don't have to pay no bills. You can use almost everything. Almost. There are things that are to the side that say, well, no, that's my stash of, brandy. That fragrance right there. Yeah, that's just for me. But the other 1,700, and the thing is, women need to be able to have an opportunity to mess up. Because, or what's the alternative? If women actually believe that no matter what they do, they're going to be harshly judged, then what's the alternative? They might as well just stay doing what they're doing. And here's the thing. I know there are going to be guys, oh man, I don't believe that. Well, guess what? They ain't listening to you. They don't. If people don't believe that you believe there's anything better for them, they ain't gonna listen to you. You can have the die hard, fire and brimstone, but they're not going to listen to you. And at 51% of the population, women wield power, especially today. You cannot just act as though you can get something done without women not opposing you. I don't say you need women to help you build. You just need them to not oppose you. Jacqueline, you're going to have to start your camera. No one gets on without being on the camera, Jacqueline. So if that's a problem for you, you're going to have to go obey. We need women to not oppose us. All right. You're in the dark. I don't say you need women to help you build. You're in the dark. But let me go ahead and let me see how we want to do this. All right. Well, while you're getting that together, we're going to have person from yesterday come in. Let me go ahead and get you to. Okay, we're gonna put you back. Just a second, because I'm gonna do one at a time. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You can put my
I'm trying to switch it over right now. It's just a little bit of a lag. So how are you doing today? What do women tend to get wrong about being high value?
Well, I did hear you talk, and I know that women are feeling really confused because on one hand, we're asked how much debt we're in. Did we go to school? Are we able to take care of ourselves? Do we have our own place? All this stuff. But then on the other hand, we're told that that stuff doesn't matter and it doesn't make us high value. But it's like it kind of does if we don't have debt or we have our own place and we're able to take care of ourselves. I feel like that's kind of like our efforts is kind of being like shit on.
What do you mean? Because I want to be clear. When I asked, and I said, it matters. It matters why you did it. Did you watch the first part where I said she decided to go to a private school? to become a physical therapist. Even she said, don't do that.
Right.
Because
It's
it
way
put her
more.
in $230,000 worth of debt.
Right.
That has to matter to a man. It has to matter to a prospective husband. Now, it's not the amount of the debt, it's the mindset. See, I want to be clear that I'm on the same page, because what I'm kind of hearing from you is like, the women can't win no matter what we do.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Okay. Are we talking about the same kind of men, though?
I believe so. We're just talking about the majority, but at the same time, the majority isn't high value. So
Right. But so again, I concern myself with men who are high value, who understand that the burden is on them to pay the cost to be the boss.
right.
Now, the question is, if women want that kind of, they want those kind of options, what do men like that want from their women?
They want them to not be in debt, to be stable, be able to at least take care of themselves, right?
Nope. They want cooperation. High value men value after the looks component, because attraction has to be there for men because we're visual. After that, cooperation. I'm president, you're vice president.
Okay.
I'm pilot, you're co-pilot. I say we go that way, you say okay.
I can see that. I also feel like men should choose a woman that they respect and value her wisdom as well, so that he doesn't feel like there's maybe so much competition, or feel like she's talking and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because I do think, like you said, co-pilot, that's a partner. So I do believe men need to pick partners that are smarter. And I think that a lot of men just based off of how
Now
attractive
we
a
need to be
woman-
clear on, now I don't like the word partner. You're an assistant. Mike Pence does not ever try to usurp Donald Trump's authority. That's one thing. So partnership, if you listen to my content, I believe a woman should be feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. And that is a part of being feminine that only a woman or a father can do. Inspire a man to become greater than he normally would have been. That is part of being feminine. So there is a feminine wisdom that comes through there, but only when a woman is in her femininity can she really inspire a man. You can't inspire me by trying to say, run harder, push, climb. That's not your job. That's dad or coach.
There's a way, and like you said, inspiring, and there's a wisdom. And if a man can respect a woman's wisdom, then she can inspire him in the right way to build his empire beyond what he could have even done by himself.
You said the word respect several times. Why is that important?
Because I do feel like a lot of men don't respect women's roles as much as they respect theirs. I feel like a lot of men
let's go down that path.
I feel like a lot of men make money and they feel like, okay, money gives me respect, but as a woman, you making money doesn't give you respect. So you just need to make money and take care of yourself, but I'm not going to give you any respect for that. But I'm making money and I need respect for that, and I need this.
All right. So here's what I need you to. If I heard you correctly, you feel as though men value their roles and responsibilities is more important or supersedes a woman's roles or responsibility.
Yes, they don't respect our role, which is why a lot of women want to make money.
Hold on. Okay, but that's true. My role as a man is far more important than yours.
Well,
because listen, I allowed you to speak. Okay. Let me go ahead. Women don't build. Women nest.
So is that not important?
Huh?
Is each role not equally important?
No, it's not. No, not as equally important, because if it was, you could show me some place in nature where women individually could survive on their own without the group.
Okay.
The female is always dependent upon the male. See, in a state of nature, a woman's ultimate purpose on the planet is a man. You
I mean, is
take
that true? Aren't there bugs that like kill the man or something like that? I mean,
okay,
do they always
okay,
really?
all right. So if we're going to do this, I'm going to try to speak to the not the anecdote, not the Black Widow. We're going to just speak to the greater. There are
Okay.
always the exception doesn't disprove the rule. But let's say you have an egg, but my sperm. You have one, I have many. Your job is to take the sperm, the egg, incubate, and make baby. I give, you multiply. We build, you nest. So without the ability, there is no nesting without the first building. So, and that's one of the fundamental disconnects today is women, and it sounds as though you think we're equals.
I don't feel like we have equal roles, but I feel like our roles are equally important.
They are. They have importance. But
Yes.
as far as the equality, see, if you and I, we could have the rip roaring debate all we want to. But if you and I were laying in the bed and a bump went off in the night, it's my job to get up and go deal with that.
Right, that's part of your role. At the same
But-
time, it's part
but-
of a woman's role to make sure you have peace and to make sure how to
Let me finish. But the thing is, one role supersedes the other. I have to be willing to die for a woman. You just have to be willing to follow a man.
But saying just, you're controlling our lives. Because
No,
it's not,
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
just-
See, no. Now that's the thing
It's
about
not just
that's the thing
following.
about high value men don't control anything.
Well,
If high value men, what we do, we don't control anything. We just tell you what we are or not going to deal with, and you can choose whether or not you want to be there.
Well, that is controlling.
It's not controlling. It's an option. You don't have to be there. You have a choice.
I understand that, but that's not really giving someone an ultimatum. I mean, that's like basically saying it's my way or the highway.
It's not really no,
is
ma'am.
control.
It's no, ma'am. It's not. If you don't like the job, you go find another job. You're not a slave.
That's what I'm saying. We're not a slave, so
fine. If you don't
why are we being treated as?
Okay, we're talking about generalities. Look, men. Okay, where's a civilization that women have ever built, created, and run?
Where the civilization that men have?
No, women.
Oh, I don't know.
They haven't. See,
It's
and that's part of the issue.
Our role isn't to build. Our role is to nurture.
Right, but one comes before the other. Without the building, we would still be tribes. We would still be living in caves and nomadic. We would have to follow the food sources. But when men started to collaborate together, we started society. This is anthropological and sociological. This isn't new. Human beings have learned how to see. One of the things I think, Janae, is interesting. Human beings for thousands and thousands of years have learned how to do this. But in the last 70, we want to flip everything on its ear and say that, well, you and I are equally important, and that was never in question before. But at some point, who leads?
Well, hopefully the men.
Why is there hope?
Because a lot of men aren't leading, or even leading properly, but hopefully the men.
Okay.
And
so when you say a lot of men aren't leading, that's two tracks. I deal with men who are high value men who are leading properly because they have the receipts to show in their life. They're doing just fine with what they're supposed to be doing. But the men who aren't leading properly, why do they have women?
Because there's not that many high value men to go around.
Okay, well, if you want a high value man, then you have two choices. You have several choices. You either can compete to get one, which he's going to give you your options. And do you want to compete to get one? And if you get one, it's going to be competitive. Can you get one and secure one? If high value men are the only options, then you have to do what it takes to get one of those. Or what are the other options? Not have a high value man?
Yeah, that's the other option.
So,
and if it's not, and which most men aren't, and so if that's the case, then men just have to evolve and learn how to.
Well, men aren't having the problem though. Men, see, society has always been set up for 30% of the men to never have children. Men have always accepted the fact that some would live through life and never reproduce. What society has never dealt with is so many women 30 plus who are unmarried and untethered to anything other than their jobs and their friends. So in Korea,
I think that's smart.
huh?
I think that's smart.
Okay. Well, how is that smart? Well, let me ask you a question. If you go look in Korea, there ain't no black people over there. It's Koreans. In Korea, the amount of single women is bankrupting Korea. It's crippling the state because the system is not set up for so many women who are unmarried, no children, who are florists, who typically don't have jobs to where they build infrastructure. Women typically take from a society. Men typically build. So whereas you didn't need a large social safety net for men because if men are homeless, men are on the streets, society doesn't care about those. But when women are homeless on the street, then it's a problem. But see, at some point, you have to say, who is putting the money or the stuff into the economy that supports all these independent women? And it's still the men.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if you're the freest you've ever been, women in this country are more entitled to, you have more rights, more freedoms, more abilities than anything else, but happiness is through the floor. 25%. Because
I can tell you why.
Of course, it's always going to come back to men, though.
They haven't evolved with women.
Well, see, now, tell me, and this is where we're going to have a problem, because every time I talk about something that men do, I will let men be responsible. But your points tend to always go back to the men.
Okay, I can take that. I can understand that. I don't mean to do that, but I do see things from a woman's point of view. And so I'm just giving the other point of view, which is just, I think that things did evolve and women did change.
What do you mean did evolve? What's the evolution? What's the evolution? Hold on, let me explain what I mean by the evolution. The evolution is women have not evolved. Women have demanded more, but you still expect men to be traditional men, yet the average woman today is not a traditional woman. This is why female dating coaches, female relationship gurus are starting to pull back from working with women because they can't even deal with women's unrealistic standards when it comes to men. Men are really simple. Men really want sex sandwich silence and cooperation.
Yeah, men are really easy to keep. I mean, really easy to keep.
But if that's the case, why are so many women unmarried?
Because I mean, in my case, I break up with my boyfriends because I'm not going to just stay around just because of money, or I just feel like a lot of people haven't worked through their traumas. I know you talk about therapy a lot, and I do too. That's great. A lot of people don't work through their traumas, and they push blame. They don't know how to communicate.
Well, my question though is, why are they your boyfriend?
Because you don't realize that until into the relationship. Like they're good guys and they have a lot of great qualities about themselves.
I disagree wholeheartedly, because when I was broken, I picked broken people. I don't have those problems anymore. I don't have relationships that end poorly now. Even the ones that don't end in marriage, they don't end terribly.
My relationships don't end terribly. That's how I feel. I feel very positive about all my exes. I wouldn't bash them or say anything negative.
But I also understand that women are women and men are men. And at the end of the day, who leads? And basically what I'm hearing is only a certain kind of man can lead. Only high value men can lead. So basically you're saying 90% of men should do
cannot
what?
lead.
If that's the case, then here's the thing. If that's the case, and you want a man, you better make sure you better make sure you qualify for one of the 10% that can lead you.
Well, I mean, that's most women though. Like, I mean,
but I'm saying like 1-to-1. I can't deal with most women. See, I accept what you're saying. 90% of men can't do anything. Good. Then you better make sure if you want one, you better qualify for one of the 10%. Know what they want and be the one they pick. Separate yourself from the other women so you can become his wife, his long-term whatever. That's what it comes down to. Women who believe what you believe. I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think that we're disappointed and we want men to level up in a lot of
But
ways.
why do
And
you
I
need
think
to be disappointed if you only think 10% of men can lead? Don't worry about
that's
the
what's
90. Just say to
disappointing.
those. But see, the question I have is, can you get one of those 10 and keep them?
But that's what's disappointing is I would like more women to be able to have high
But
value men.
but
It's
but
not
that
just
but I'm
about
asking
me.
you a direct question. Can you get one of the 10% and keep him?
Yes, I can. That's easy. It's easy to keep a man.
Really?
Keeping a man is easy.
Now,
Yeah, keeping a man is,
when I define keep by marriage.
well, keeping a man is easy. Getting a man to marry you is easy. Do
Okay.
I want to marry him though? Is the question. And is
No, no,
he
no,
fit
no, no, no,
to be
no.
with
See, we're
me? Is the
bouncing around.
question.
So now, see, you blended two things. I don't care about the 90%. I care about the 10% that you said high value and can lead. Let's talk about those. I said,
Okay.
can you get one and keep them? Meaning, can you become one of these men's wives? And what I'm hearing you say is you don't want to be a wife.
No, I'm saying that I can. I'm saying that it's
Do
easy.
you
I'm
want to be
saying that
do you want to be a
if
wife?
I would, yeah, I would love to be a wife.
All right. So how many high value men do you have that are prospects that you're the prospect to be their wife?
Well, when you say there's only 10% that are high value, then it's really not that many, is there?
No. I'm not dealing with everybody. You've said it's easy to get. So
It's easy to keep
all
a
right.
man.
So
It's easy to get to keep a man.
then you should have no. So you're telling me that you can deal with any group of men. That means you can get into 10% of the high value men, and if it's so easy, then you should have
Yeah, 'cause
plenty of
I'm around
proposals.
them.
Let me
I'm around
finish.
them all the time.
Okay, but you should
And-
have
and they
plenty.
just
But you
like-
should have plenty of marriage proposals that you're fielding and turning down.
Well, that is true. I do.
Okay.
And but the issue is I see things from a broad perspective of there's not enough men, and even in
I'm not worried.
single
Okay, but
high
Janae,
value-
you can only marry one person. I don't see. It doesn't
Yeah,
make.
but it's not just
But it
about
doesn't.
me, it's
What you're
about
what you're
it's about
saying
all
isn't making
women.
any sense.
Because it's not just about me. It's
But
about
yeah, but
all
I'm only
women.
talking about you. See, when
But
we
here-
hold on, when I'm talking, but that's the thing. When I talk to women, I talk about them, not all the global issues. It's one to one. And see,
But it's not one
hold
to one.
on,
because
hold
there's only
on, hold on,
10%
hold
of
on. Okay, you
high-value
can't talk
men.
over me. You can't do that. I'm asking. You said you have. Are you saying you actually have been proposed to by high value men and you've turned them down?
I'm saying that
Is that a yes?
I
That's a
feel-
that's a yes. I just need to know that part.
no, because I've broken up with them before that.
Okay.
They've talked to me about marriage, but I've broken up with them before that.
So why'd you break up with them?
Because they don't have good communication skills, or one was abusive. He ended up being abusive, or
So why are you classifying these guys as high value men?
because it's a high value man. As all the points that you had of a high value man, you never said anything about not being abusive. I mean, he had money. He had money for a long time. He had a network. He was a sports broadcaster. He did a whole, but he had even the attractive level, I mean, every pinpoint of a high value man. Everybody thought he was a gentleman. He was very sophisticated. He held himself well. Everybody knew him. His name was good in the street.
Okay.
It just months into the relationship, he showed a very abusive side that as soon as he showed it, I had to get out.
Are we talking about physically abusive?
Yeah, physically.
Okay. And then the next one.
And then the next one, that one was more so later. The one previous before that, we were just both too young. I was 19. He was 21.
You can't be high value at 21.
He was in the NFL. So.
I don't care. No, ma'am. You can't be high value at 21. The starting line is around 30. See this video, and this is what I'm trying to kind of. That's why I let you kind of explain it. That's why I said what women get so wrong about high value. And one thing that I noticed that women, you'll classify men as high value that don't fit because everything that I've heard you say is pretty much these guys over here don't qualify. They need to be more like these guys over here. But even the guys over here, there's something wrong with them too. So at the end of the day, ma'am, it always comes down that there's something wrong with men.
Yes.
And that's
correct.
not, and again, you're free to have that, but that means you're going, no, ma'am. No, I can't. No, not on this channel. Cause that's the same. No, man. No, I'll let you speak. That's the same thing K. Michelle tried to pull. The men are bad people. If something's wrong with all the men, we attracted what we are.
There's not something wrong with all the men. It's
all the men you pick.
No, it's not something that's just wrong with all men. I mean, obviously you can't just say me because there's a lot of women
No,
that
but
are
I'm
having
only
these
talking
issues.
about you. I'm talking
I
about the men
understand,
in
but
your world
I
because
understand.
again, I don't worry about all. See, we can't talk about things that we haven't lived. You've said that these guys
But I
over here aren't capable of leading,
yeah,
and the guys over here that are capable of leading, there's something even wrong with the ones I'm
there's something
picking.
wrong with them. Yeah,
All right.
they're
Well,
upset.
then if
Some of
that's the
them are
case, then if
bitter.
that's the case, my question is this: who is helping you vet through these men since you seem to be able to attract these guys who are high value, but there tends to be something wrong with them down the pipe? Who's assisting you with vetting them so you don't do that anymore?
I don't have anybody helping me. I mean, I would like somebody to help me, but I don't have anybody to help me.
Well, that would be wise because because if you're going into this with a good faith argument, you can't. There has to be something to say. Well, you know what? Maybe there's something wrong with the way I'm evaluating things. This is why
Well, okay,
therapy is
so I have
always.
a question.
Go ahead.
So I did hear you say that and that women should basically go to college to find a man. But if we're going to college to find a man, then wouldn't that man be in his 20s? And so wouldn't he not be a
I'm
high
not
value
okay.
man?
You misunderstood. Well, first of all, every woman doesn't want a high value man, so you're confusing things.
I
You
didn't
you
know
you
that.
basically said you need a high value man, and my thing is if you need a man in the top 10%, but here's the question, and if you need a man in the top 10% and you can attract them, you seem to be attracting ones that don't sound high value. They sound high value like, but either way, you're not really getting the outcome. So someone to help you sort through that. But let's assume you did have someone to help you sort through these high value men. What do they want from you?
Um, they want peace, peace of mind, and um, a helpmate.
Okay.
Good sex, probably. I mean,
Okay.
the regular.
Not the regular. I mean, these are elite men.
I mean, to me, it's like you said, guys are simple, so it's
I
easy
know
to
men
see.
are simple. High value men are a special breed. They all the stuff you're talking about comes, peace. They don't deal with conflict.
Right.
So
So,
my question is, do you know what men in this category of men really want from a woman that they would marry? So if you did run across a man who hit all your high value marks and they weren't abused, I mean all the negative stuff that you say, if he was the man,
mhm,
why should he pick you over the other 99 women in front of him?
because I mean, besides all the stuff you said is basic, I am actually intelligent, and I know how to help inspire him to grow his empire.
Okay, so how would you communicate that to him in just an open dating setting?
Um, I I think we would just talk about maybe his ambitions and where he's taking himself. I mean, I don't know, it just kind of happens.
Well, and
It just
what I'm trying to kind of show you is you know what you want, and you
That's
can
correct. I
definitely
do
say
know what
what
I
you
want.
don't want. But
Hmm.
what you seem to have a trouble articulating is how to give somebody who you would want what they want.
Okay.
And that tends to happen a lot oftentimes with women because it's all about you. It's like, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that. I hear you. And there are men out there who have that and more. Why would they pick you over the rest of the competition?
I mean,
That's the
I mean, I
question
said
that
I
all
said
women
what it
have to
is.
answer. Huh?
I said what it is. Whenever I say I feel like whenever I say it's my intelligence or what I have to offer, how I want to build with a man, or how I want to
Well,
have
understand
this
now. I
foundation of
need
empire.
to now. So when you say how do you want to build, what does that mean?
I mean, I have very big goals and dreams. I don't have regular ambitions. I'm not a 9 to 5er. I, ha- I like business, and I have a lot of business ideas and things I like to invest in. And I, I
So
believe
do you
that,
have any? So real fair question. Do you have any ideas? Are great. Do you have any actually business acumen and accomplishments in that feat in the business
yes,
world?
I have. Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Um, I will say most high value men are not looking to marry a wife.
And see that's exactly like it's like you ask me that, and then you say that you guys aren't interested in that. So it's like
Well, hold
it's
on,
almost like
hold
anything
on.
that
Well,
I say I
hold
have
on,
to
slow down.
offer.
Hold on, slow. Okay, you can't overtalk me. What I'm showing you is you don't seem to realize who high value men. I'm telling you what high value men and fit in the category of the kind of men you're talking about, what they want from their women, and you cannot be upset that they don't want what you bring to the table. They don't care.
Okay, so
That's
I mean,
nice.
so what do they want? Like
But see,
it's
that's
like
that.
it's
And
like
see, but Janae, but see, that's the thing. And thank you for asking. If you
yeah.
want one of those men, you need to get curious about who they are and what they want, and see if you can bring it to the table. It's not my job to go translate what these men who are out there doing what it is you say you want.
Okay, so I would like to know what do they want from what do they
Well,
what do they
one thing
I
that
guess
they
more of
want
a
is
question.
cooperation. One thing that they want is cooperation. High value men across the board want cooperation, and that comes in a myriad of different ways. But they
Mm-hmm.
also expect their women to play the background. They don't want their wife to be up there trying to build with them. Having ideas is great. This is why oftentimes you see men who are truly high value. What do? Their wives will start their own business or their own company or their own pet project, right? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
think that is?
So that they're not involved in the same project. They don't have the same.
So
They're
they're
not.
out of their freaking way. So they can
Right.
go over here and the wife can use her and that's better for instead of trying to go over here and build. But what you said is you have big goals, big dreams, and big ambitions. That's fine. But
And I have a lot of ideas.
a
So
high value man is not looking for a woman who's, as long as you can facilitate those dreams and ambitions on your own income, you'll have too much time. That means what's going to become your motivation, him or your ambitions?
see, so I don't really I'm confused on what you guys want. Like it's so weird. So you don't
We
want a
want
woman to be
we want you
ambitious
to be
and
we
build
want
and
you to be a
have a
help
lot of
me.
money.
We want you to be a help me. We want you to be a help me. We want you to be what females traditionally are, because I think so many women in general are used to talking about guys who cannot get it done. And that's what you've become accustomed to dealing with, that when you run across men who can get it done and don't need you to do anything else, due respect, Janae, you may be an intelligent woman and have everything you have to offer, but I need a CFO and a CIO or somebody that I can hold to the task, that the board can hold to the task, that the shareholders can hold to the task. I'm not going to use nepotism when my career, my legacy are on the line. I got plenty of people I could put in that job, but you got hundreds, thousands of people that are relying upon this decision. And men, high value men, need women to understand that, number one, you will always come a distant second to his purpose.
Okay, so so I ask more questions. What makes a high value man find value in the woman that he's with if the things that you're asking for are so
Because he values
basic?
women. He values a lady. He values a woman, but a woman is not a man's equal. See, the value
So
a value a man has in a woman is in her femininity, her beauty, her cooperation, her submissiveness, her elegance, her sophistication, her way of being softening to his harder edges. This is why you see the first lady typically put in front of the country on different kinds of initiatives versus the president. Because men have to get in there and be rough and tumbled. Men don't want to sit around and have to debate with women. That's an arena for men. And see that now the thing, my question is there any value in being a high value man's woman, if that's, because it seems to me like that would be kind of constricting for you.
yeah, I really wouldn't want to feel like I'm somebody's slave. Like I just got to
Well,
be a yes woman.
you use slave, but slaves don't have, so basically women who have a high value lifestyle are slaves. So that's
I'm
cool.
kind of like Trump's wife.
Well, again, but there are more women than Trump's wife. So by extension, if you don't want that, because then you open yourself up to what? It sounds like you
Some man
want.
being controlling
No, it
and a
sounds
man
like
trying
what it
to
really sounds to me
manipulate.
is you want to. It sounds to me as though you want a non-traditional, a very fluid kind of relationship, and guys like that tend to not be very ambitious, not very motivated, and don't.
No, I
And,
like really ambitious men.
okay, but
I like really ambitious men.
but
That's what I date.
again, ambitious men tend to be cut from the same cloth. That's why success has a template. See, what I'm hearing from you is modern woman. And that's fine. But modern women want men to be
We don't have
traditional
any other
men.
choice. We don't have
Oh,
a
that no,
choice
that
but to
no,
be
no, no, no,
modern.
ma'am. That's bull. You have a choice.
We don't,
You
because
do have
after
a choice.
18,
You do have a
we have
choice.
to go to
You
college, dig
do
in debt, and
no, ma'am.
find a job
You
and
have
make
it. You
money.
have no, ma'am. You have a choice. You just don't like the choices.
Well, the choice is go to school, get into debt, find a man while you're young, and then just do whatever he says, and hopefully you pick the
So
right
how many?
one
No.
to
So
control your
how
life.
many high value men do you know their wives?
Do I know their
How many
wives?
high value wives do you know? How many women do you know that are married to high value men?
I know a few.
Okay, do they talk like they're in prison?
Um,
Be honest.
mm, I mean, sometimes
Ma'am, come on. I'm not talking about the nuance. In general, do they sound like their lives are miserable?
I said sometimes some of
Okay,
them
well
do.
that's the human condition. If you can get 80% of what you want, Janae, you want. Here's the thing. One of the problems with us as human beings is we tend to want more than we bring to the table. That's what Rebecca Limpopo, a matchmaker, was saying. I don't begrudge you for wanting what you want. I just hope you can bring equal or more than what you want to the table.
Well, what's equal or more than what I want?
Well, you have a lot of different parameters. I hope you bring as many parameters and options to a man
But
that he finds appealing.
like what?
Oh, I
mean,
can't
I do have
answer
lots
that.
of
I can't answer that.
Oh,
I'm not dating you. But what I'm saying is you want a unique kind of high value man that really does not exist, because the traits that make you high value, you seem to find somewhat troubling or offensive. That yes, he's going to expect to be in control. He's going to expect to lead. And that's what it's going to be. He's not going to go out and be the CEO of an organization and come home with you and negotiate on things that he's already decided. He will take your input. He values his wife's input. But see, what it sounds to me is though that's not enough.
no, valuing the input is enough, but don't come in and just say, demand this is
Well,
this, this is that. I don't
well,
want to hear this. Like, have respect for
Well,
my.
but see, but the way you've come at this is the implication is there's already there's no respect from a man, which seems as though, due respect, ma'am, it sounds like you have an issue with men in general as a
Um,
species.
I mean, not all of them, because I'm friends with a lot of. I'm
But
friends with a lot of men.
but
I've always had.
being friends with them and cooperating with them and building a life are two different things.
Yeah, because I do feel like guys are very, sometimes, especially when they make money, they feel like, and if you're young and they're older, they feel like they know everything and you're young and you need to just sit down and shut up, and they don't really
Are we
respect
talking
your
about? Oh,
wisdom
hold on.
because they
Okay.
feel like you don't
Okay.
have
Hold on.
wisdom.
Hold on. What are we talking about? If you're young and they're older, they know more about what?
Just everything in life. I've dated a guy when I was young, maybe when I was like younger, and he was 10 years older than me, and it just seemed like everything I said, he was like, you don't know, you're young, and you don't really know, and he always just kind of like belittled me or kind of
Well,
silenced me,
okay.
or
But the
shut me
thing is,
down.
okay. Again, one man is not all men. You sound like you have an issue with men. And that's because you talk about men and you'll go back to one experience. There are more of us out here. And have you ever had, how about this? How about this? Have you ever had good, healthy relationships long term romantically with the man that ended well?
That, yeah, I would say they were, yeah, I mean, sometimes no, sometimes
No,
it's
no, no,
not.
no. I mean, the relationship was good, healthy, and it ended well. There's
I mean, if
I mean you
I mean, if
that
the
you have nothing
relationship,
but great things to say about the guy outside of just
I mean, if
human.
that's the case, you should marry that person, right?
No,
Well, how are you going to have a good, healthy,
because
happy
because
relationship and
sometimes
break
it
up?
just doesn't fit. Sometimes because in Western romantic relationships, sometimes the chemistry is just not there. Modern women want it all, and the thing is, every man cannot be a problem.
Well, if the chemistry is not there, then that's not a
But
fit.
that's, I mean,
How are you going to
yesterday
get
you
to a
also talked
relationship?
about looks and this and that, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
let me just put it down to you this way: um, if other women are figuring it out, why can't women like yourself?
I think that sometimes people just get lucky
No, no,
and
no,
they
no.
find the right partner
Okay,
for them.
then okay. So do you talk to the women who got lucky and figure out how to be lucky like them?
Um, I can talk to more. I can talk to more of my friends who have. Yeah.
All right.
I
So
mean, but they just got lucky. Like I have one friend and she found him off of just a
okay.
dating app.
Well, again, high value men really don't deal in luck. Success is not a matter of luck. It's a matter of work. And again, I asked you, you talked about being a high value man's wife as almost like it's a prison sentence, like you're in a gilded cage. And I mean, and honestly, that's really prevalent, especially in a lot of, womanist, feminist kind of language, that we're equals, this and that, that is fine in an argument or a debate, but in a relationship, if you want a driven, ambitious, alpha kind of personality man, you're going to have to be a feminine, beta kind of woman.
A beta woman?
Yes. What does beta mean?
Beta just seems very pushover
Can
and
you, I mean, dear, I mean, I got to be honest. Beta is just second in command. See, every time I say something that's just not in charge, you find just, oh my God.
it's not that it's not in charge. It's just that I'm not going to be looked at as like I'm lesser than, or I
Okay,
don't
well,
have I don't have a say, or I'm not
let's get to the
intelligent.
rubber meets the road. You are. Listen, no offense, but honestly, you can have all the opinions you want, right? Can you actually subdue a man physically?
So because I'm not
I need you to
stronger, that makes
understand.
me
No,
lesser
ma'am. I need
than?
you to understand something. The reason, if you don't want to do the exercise, we can't. But see, you can have the attitudes you are, but at the end of the day, men are physically stronger than you, larger than you, have more hand strength than you, and women cannot survive individually in the world alone. You need a group. Men can survive by ourselves. And see, it's like today, so many modern women really have a problem with the fact that you are the weaker vessel. You are the
We're
feminine.
physically weaker, but
Yes,
we're
you
not
are.
weaker. That doesn't make
Yes,
us
you are.
weaker. Just because
Okay,
we're
where are
physically
women stronger
weaker,
than men?
well, emotionally, as soon as you guys get your heart broken once, you guys are done with all bitches and bitches ain't shit and blah blah blah. And we get our heart broken over and over and over and abused over and over and over. We can
Okay,
still get through it. We can also
that is
birth children.
okay, Janae. That is subjective. Show me where. Hold on,
It is
ma'am.
the
Hold on, ma'am.
majority,
Okay,
though.
no, ma'am. Let's go through. Where have women, when they're head to head with a man, where have women when a woman wants to, let's say, become a firefighter? Can women can carry 200 pounds of dead weight?
No, women are not equal to men in
Well,
strength. Men have strength,
women are
but
not
that
equal.
doesn't
How
make
about
you
this,
guys
Janae? Women are not equal to men, period. And that's
okay. But that
okay.
doesn't make you guys better than us, or that doesn't
Yes,
make you guys.
it does,
No,
and
that
it
really
does in this,
doesn't.
it does in this sense. If you want a
It
world,
makes you
listen, no,
stronger.
no, no. It does in this sense. If you want a world to where you're equally valued, build it. No one's stopping you. No one's stopping you
Well,
from
I mean,
going.
the world is already built, so I mean, I
No,
guess
ma'am. No,
we're
ma'am.
trying
But you
to.
can go out and compete. Okay, see, but you tell men to get out here and compete too. You can go out into the same
We're
world.
trying to.
You can. There's plenty of. You can go out and buy land. You can go out and you can go build Amazonia.
Well, and that's what women are doing, and that's why I'm
And
saying
then,
women are evolving.
but are they doing it without complaint?
Of course we're complaining
Well,
about it
then it's
because we
not
don't
worth.
like
Okay, so let me get this right.
we don't like
No,
that
ma'am.
you
No,
guys are
ma'am.
doing
Let me
this.
get this right. Let me get this right. You don't want the world that men built. You have the ability to build your own world, but you're going to complain while building it. What you're showing is you can't make women happy, so why try? Make
What do
it
you mean you can't make women happy?
because you're
It's
not
literally
happy.
just
You're not
how
happy in the
disrespect
world that
us. It's
you're
that
not
simple.
happy in the world.
Just respect
You're not
us.
happy in the world that men built.
No, we're
You
not
then
happy in the
go
world that men
build
built.
your own world.
We're trying to do
Where?
that.
Where?
Okay, like with what you guys call the whole feminist movement, like we're trying to build it. That's why we're getting better jobs, and that's why we're making more money, and that's why
Okay,
we're
what
trying
are the
to
larger
we're trying to buy land and do
Okay,
this.
ma'am. Okay, who's okay? Trying. What are the two largest employers of black women?
I don't know.
The federal government and retail.
Okay.
What are you going to build with income from federal government or retail?
Okay, well then women just need a better guidance on
No,
what
no,
to
no,
do.
no, no, no. See, if you're my see, this is where it comes down to. If you want to be equal, you got to get out here and compete with us. And see, men understand we got to compete. If you want to be treated as equal, you're going to get out here and have to beat men. And we're not going to take it easy on you. We're going to compete against you just like anybody else because what you're saying is what we've done isn't good enough. So you need to go do better.
No, what we're saying is the
What we're
fact
saying
that you
is
guys
give me
aren't
what I want
respecting
my
us
way,
is
how I
not
want it, like
okay.
a spoiled, petulant child. That's how a lot of women come across. Like, I want what I want.
But here's the thing: you men didn't build. You men that are acting like you guys built this, you guys didn't build anything. Like
Excuse me?
your past fathers built
You
it, but you
men
guys
didn't
didn't
build. Whoa,
build
whoa, whoa, whoa,
anything.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You men. Oh, now. You sure you want to go down this path?
Okay, but you guys are demanding all this
I'm
stuff.
not. No,
And
ma'am. No
this is
one's.
about
No, ma'am. See, men like myself don't demand anything from women. I don't demand anything. I don't demand. I tell you what I want and what I'm not, what I will and won't accept. I don't demand
demanding.
anything.
That's demanding.
No, it's not. How is it demanding?
Yeah,
How is how
you're saying
giving you a choice is demanding? How?
yes.
So if a waiter comes,
Because
so if a
it's
waiter
my way or
comes,
the
so if
highway.
a
That's
waiter, so let
demanding.
me get
That's
this right. If
control.
Janae went to a restaurant and said, okay, what tonight, man? We have chicken, we have fish, and we have steak. Oh, you're demanding that I eat those? What about the vegetarian dish? Or what about the vegan dish? You know, you don't have beef. You don't have lamb. No, man, we have chicken, steak, pork. Well, I need a congressional hearing. These are the choices. You don't like what's in this restaurant? The restaurant that sells the vegetarian restaurants down the street. But I don't like their food. Okay, man, but this is what we have on the menu. Choose.
No, this is more so what you're saying is you're saying we have chicken or get out. That's
No.
more
What
so
I'm saying is okay. So you don't give men choices?
Yeah.
Careful.
I mean, I have my boundaries.
Careful.
I have my boundaries.
Careful. So you're demanding.
I have my boundaries.
So you're demanding.
I might be a little demanding.
Okay. So it's all right for you to be demanding. Why?
Because I also am very understanding.
No.
And,
We
I'm very
haven't
good at
asked
doing-
whether or not the men who had these demands, whether or not they were understanding at all. Just the
They're not
demands by
understanding.
themselves were automatically
They're just-
invalid. See what it
Yeah,
is
they're just my way
what
or
it
the
is,
highway.
Janae, is women like you want a world that you did not build. You want to take the control of the world we built because it ain't good enough
didn't build
and it
it
doesn't
either.
work and it doesn't work the way you want it to work. And then when women get in a position of power, you don't make it better. Name me any city. Let me name me any city that's led by women that has flourished.
I mean, city, but hasn't Queen Elizabeth been and I mean, wasn't she
Oh,
like?
do you really? I mean, I'm good at history, and I don't think you want to do that.
I don't know. History's not my thing. Math is my
Okay,
thing.
that's why I said
so-
I don't want to. But here's what you're showing at the end of the day. You're really wanting, and that's what I said. I hope you're willing to bring as much to the table as you're demanding.
I am.
And then and then if that's the case, Janae, you should be overflowing with proposals from viable high level men to be their wife.
You have to make sure you're in those positions and you're in those places, but
No.
sure, at the same time, like you're saying something, but then you'll turn around and say that only 10% of men are high value.
No,
So it's like,
but the thing is, ma'am, I'm not. it doesn't matter if only
And why
10%.
aren't most of those guys married?
No,
Or
no, no.
like
Okay, see the question. See, every time
and
I
why are
talk,
they
every time I
married?
talk about you, you go to disqualify and go vague, and see that's problematic.
I don't know how it's problematic.
Well, it's problematic because you take it off of specifically you and you go back to something vague and nebulous, and I won't argue that.
Because
Well,
it's
it
not just
is. I
about
mean,
me.
what city do you
It's
live
not
in?
just about me. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas, the seat of power in Texas. I lived in Austin for a short period of time. The Silicon Valley of the South. Lots of successful, high-value men there in politics. You should have no problem attracting a high-value man and becoming a high-value man's wife because that is the seat of power of the largest state in the union.
That's true. Austin's very there's a lot of white men. That's not really my
Okay,
type. I mean,
so
I do need to open up and
oh,
expand
but
my
hold on.
horizons.
Let me be honest. If you have a problem with what high value black men are offering or asking, I don't know if you're really going to want to hear what Brad is asking for.
Um, mm, I don't really like Brads. They don't attract
But
me.
you said you
I'm
need
not
to
gonna like
open
them.
up. Okay,
I say
Brad.
I do need to open up and try to date other races
So
of
what would you
men.
date if you didn't date a white man?
Um, Hispanic.
And
Some kind of Latino.
Hispanic men earn less than black men. You pick the
Um,
one group that
well,
earn less than black men.
well, then that's unfortunate. I don't know, biracial. I don't know, like
No,
something else.
and here's the
I'm
thing,
just not
and
interested in white men. I'm
what
just
it's
not.
going to come down to, ma'am, is at the end of the day, high value men across any race are going to still have the same requirements. And see, what you're saying is ultimately your particular way of thinking doesn't line up with what high value men want. And that's unfortunate if you want a high value man. They're not going to pick you, and you don't want to compromise with what they want.
Well, if they're a high value man and they're still single and they're over 35, there's probably something wrong with them.
Oh, now we go with that stuff. We're just talking about you. See,
Well, we're talking about me, but
no, because see that assumes
obviously,
again
if they're
again
single,
what?
there's something wrong with them.
Excuse me.
So, have you
Excuse
ever
me.
thought about maybe what's wrong with them? Have you
No,
ever
no,
thought
no,
about
no.
it?
Again, a typical deflection tactic in an argument is to go back to the general. If you basically pull that out of the air. If they're over 35 and they're single, that has nothing to do with you.
But it does,
No, it
though,
doesn't.
because
No, it
if
doesn't.
you're out
Okay,
there,
all right. So here's the thing. I know it typically makes an argument easier to digest when the issue is always out there, not right here. All you can control is your attraction level to the kind of men you say you want.
mm-hmm.
And they
And if
exist.
there's not enough choices,
No.
then
Do they exist?
Yeah,
Then
hopefully.
no, they exist. They exist. Then the problem is, and you're in a place where they exist. You're not in Anchorage, Alaska. You're in Austin, Texas. You not only know they exist, you have access. Then you should have no real issue if you what they want in getting one.
Okay, and also when you say access, where do you meet these people at for you to say there's access? Because I
I
go
just
to,
access meaning the fact that you're geographically located where they are.
but just because you're geographically located where they are doesn't mean that they're
Well, Janae,
out and
I
about.
hate to break this to you, but what you want is rare. So if it's going to inconvenience you or be a little difficult, so be it. You don't
That's
want
fine.
one, you don't want one of the 90% of guys out there. You want one of the top 10%. So you got to go see, that's the thing. That's what so many women don't want to do. They don't want to have to compete. And this is what,
Okay.
let me finish.
I
Let me
just have
finish.
way-
Let me finish and say, I'll let you go. This is what a lot of femininity instructors, especially when they're talking about this level up kind of stuff, they'll often talk about, you're going to have to scrutinize yourself from head to toe, inside and out. You're going to have to get real about your ideal man. You're going to have to invest heavily into breaking into that society or doing whatever. You're going to have to educate yourself about that man's world, and you're going to have to take action. See, that's outside of the fitness and the beauty component. And that's a lot of damn work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to do those things, that's your choice. But you're not going to say, take me as I am and come knock on my door and find me when your competition is willing to do all that.
Okay. No, I understand. I didn't say knock on my door and find me. I'm saying that, like, I'm in Austin. It's very white populated. I go to
Then you can move.
nice places.
You can move to
I go
you can
nice
move to you can
places.
move. You're not a slave. You can move.
I thought about that.
Okay. And that's what I ultimately tell women that follow me. You have choices. You're the freest group of women that have ever lived, the most educated, you can do whatever you want to. If you don't get what you want, it's because you chose not to go make it happen.
Or it's not offered, but sure.
No, and it's not supposed to be offered. It's supposed to be gotten. See, you don't supposed to offer me a success. I'm supposed to go make myself a success. See, this is what so many of our women, so many of our black women, they don't want to go out there and compete. Becky will compete. Maylene will compete. Marisol will compete. They will compete for them. Anu will compete. They will get out there and compete. They will move. They will do what they have to do. That's why they have their ass in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're taking wheatgrass shots and drinking water. And come on, sis, come on. And I'm just telling you, basically, you need to go know what the kind of man you say you want. What do they want? And you can't even really tell me, because it sounds to me as you spent more time fairly understanding what it is you want. But you got to get curious about what men want, because they're not just going to take whatever you think. They have wants too.
Right. I mean, do they think about what women want?
Yes. No, honestly, here's the truth. They don't have to think about what women want, because women want them and they want their purpose.
Well, men want women too.
Yeah,
so,
but see, the thing is, when you're the reality, here's the reality. When you're a high value man, you always have plenty of women trying to get after you. You can be a beautiful.
Yeah, but are they valuable though? Besides sex, besides their looks, are they smart?
Let me answer the question. The valuable ones make themselves known. If you're truly valuable, it's only a fool that hides that.
But
if you're truly valuable, you make it known. It's only a fool that hides value.
But when a woman knows she's valuable, she doesn't let a man just run her. All of a sudden, it's a problem.
Again, you asked about high value men, and I answered the question. If you are what they want, you are foolish for not making it known. Hey, I'm here. And you keep going back to men that don't work.
I know a lot of high value men, a lot of older men who are very, very wealthy, and they are still having problems finding a woman because they have this mindset.
I'm sorry, but here's the reality. We're not talking about them and the ones you have problems with. That's not the point. The point is you.
You're talking about 1%?
Yes. No. We're talking about why you say you want something and why you can't find it or get it.
Just like the rest of these women.
No, ma'am. I'm not dealing with the rest of the women. We're talking about you. We're talking about you. What do you want? Here's the question, Janae. Simple question.
It's a lot easier.
Let me make it real simple. Let me make it real simple. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it?
You want me to answer that question?
That's what life comes down to. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it?
Do you want me to answer the question?
Yes, I'm waiting. I mean, I've said yes twice. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it?
I mean, I told you what I want, and I'm willing to go to events and do all that stuff and go find that. Go and put myself in positions to find the type of guy that I want.
Okay.
Now, my qualm is
No, let me
that,
finish. Now I have the follow-up question.
okay,
You may want an A in class, but if you're only going to do C-level work, you can't complain that you don't get an A. So whatever your qualm is, I got to look at your effort. You're just willing to show up. And you expect an elite level man.
what do you mean I'm just willing to show
I'm
up?
willing
You
to
just,
go to events. Put my
yes, to show up
hold on.
and
Let me
show who
no
I
no
am.
no. Let
And
me
I already
finish.
told you
Let me
everything I have to
finish. No, ma'am. I
offer.
listened to what you said. I'm willing to go to events, put myself in place. You're willing to go and be, and that's fine.
Yeah, to
Hold
be
on. But see,
seen
the
so
thing
that I
is,
can showcase
hold on,
what
ma'am. You can't
who I
overtalk me.
am, and I
You
can
can't
step up in
overtalk
those
me.
positions.
I'm trying not to mute you, but you can't overtalk me. See, that's the extent of what you're willing to do, and I accept that. But there's a handful of high value men, and there are 4 times the women. 10% of men are wanted by 20% of women. That means there's at least 2 to 1 before marriage.
I feel like I can't.
So
I
let
feel
me
like I can't
let me
win.
no. What you can't do is your competition is willing to do more than that. See what you didn't.
Okay,
So what you did
what are
not.
they
What you did
willing to
not
do?
say is.
Because
What you did not say is. You know what? I'm willing to go learn and understand what these men want, and I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to get what I want. I'm willing to be Becky, Marisol, Marlene. I'm willing to go put in the effort of a champion because you want a champion level man. You just want to show up, and that's fine.
no, I gave you. I told. Okay, the reason why I said I wanted to do that was because you just said we just had a conversation about putting myself in those positions. So I said, okay, I'm willing to put myself in those positions. I've already told you what I have to offer, so there was no reason to repeat that.
Well,
So I'm saying I'm going to take what I have to offer,
okay.
and I'm willing to put myself in those
This has
positions
been a good back and
because I
forth, but
already
I
work
will
out
say
all the
this.
time. I already take care of myself.
Hold on. We're almost at 1 o'clock. I do thank you for coming on. It's been a good back and forth, but I will say this to wrap it up. If that's what you're willing to do to get what you want, if you don't get the outcome, it is your responsibility. It's not because you didn't have the chance. That's how this world works.
What do you mean because I didn't have a chance?
Well, if what you just articulated was the extent of what you're willing to do and all the other stuff. And the thing is, if that's what's being offered, and if he decides to pick someone else, then you had a shot at it. And if you don't get it, it's not as though they didn't exist. And see, this is a hard thing for a lot of women to really accept. If you don't get what you want, it's not a problem with the men. Maybe you just weren't good enough.
What do you mean? What if the guy wasn't there? What if he doesn't exist? Why are you just
Now
trying to
they
blame
exist.
him?
Because I already gave you the example of what are you willing to do. I'm willing to show up. That means you showed up and go to the places where you know they are. They're there. And you didn't. And what are you willing to do to separate yourself from the crowd? See, if we talked about going to college, and I said, what are you willing to do to get into Stanford or Princeton or Harvard? You would be willing to do far more than just to get into junior college because because you're going to have a greater return.
It's guaranteed, and there's going to
But
be a
that's the
greater
thing.
return
See,
than
that's the thing, sweetheart. There are no guarantees in this. There are no guarantees.
There's not.
There all fair is love and war. There are no guarantees except one
Right.
thing: you get out of life what you put into it. And if you're not willing to compete for a high level elite man, you cannot fault the fact that you don't get one if you have a shot at it. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on.
All right, bye-bye. You know, guys, she made some points. I mean, everybody's not going to agree. And ultimately what I'm saying is we get nowhere always putting it out there. Nothing's guaranteed in love. And if you're not going to really compete for the quality of woman you say you want, or the quality of man you say you want, what are you going to do? We're almost 1 o'clock. I think that was kind of long. I know some people were wanting us to go back and forth and yell and this and that. Nah, I don't need to do all that. Shout out to Janae. She's a good sport. Let me see what's going on with some of these super chats and things. And see, are you guys doing well? Let me make sure we get this all wrapped up. You know, one of the things that I will say that I found kind of troubling or problematic is the notion that if a man gives you options, that those are demands. I'm like, how do you square that circle? You know, a man giving you saying, hey, I don't date a woman that has a Facebook account or an Instagram account. That's not him telling you you have to get rid of a Facebook account or an Instagram account. He's just saying, I won't kick it. I don't deal with women like that. But here's what a lot of women want. Well, if I get rid of my Facebook and my Instagram, are you going to marry me? No, that's not how this works. I just don't date women to do that. You can choose to do or not do. And see, here's the thing. There are women who are willing to say, you know what? I ain't working on Facebook. Facebook ain't making me no money. Is Facebook and Instagram really worth an opportunity to date this guy? And the net of it is a lot of women access to Facebook and Instagram is worth more than the man they say they want. Think about what I'm saying. I'm not talking about somebody who works on Instagram or Facebook. They're social media experts, social media managers. I'm talking about just deleting your accounts. Not disabling, getting rid of. And what I did a broadcast. What are you willing to give up to get the man you say you want? And a lot of women aren't willing to give up anything. So let me go ahead and address this too. Apparently I've been on media takeout. I'm 55 years old apparently, and I'm stealing men's wives. Guys, later on this week or next week, we're going to talk about the sad state, the reality that black men and black women can't do business. You should be, every other race of people can have business meetings with colleagues that are, you know, same sex, opposite sex, you know, without it becoming scandalous. You know, shout out to the 95 or 99% of you guys that were like, hey man, nice to see a brother and a sister out talking, collaborating. But some of you guys are, I thought she was married and I thought she was this, I thought she was that. You know, shame on you guys, man. Everywhere in the videos I made, I said, I'm out here with so-and-so, and we're out here talking about this. Or I announced a potential collaboration, but some of you guys just cannot. It's sad. It's really sad that no other race of people beats themselves like we did. So let me get this right. Black men and black women cannot have business meetings. They can't mix business. There can't be any interaction. So anytime. So which one? And then the funny thing is, I had guys that sit around talking about, hey man, he looked like a gay guy. So which one is it? See, the hot point is when you are good at what you do, you're going to attract attention. So you don't get mad at it. I saw people saying, you need to sue them. You need to sue them. For what? For what? You choose to become a public person. You choose to deal with salacious rumors and everything else out there. I'm going to use it to make a lot of money. That's what I was going to do. You're just no different than if people want. Now, I will say they're lying. And you got to ask yourself, who really, if you can't even be bothered to fact check yourself to get my age right, I mean, come on. Hey man, in the chat room, I'm not really looking, but here's the thing. I'm not going to have anybody really just talking crazy about the last person. If you got issues with people, please, on my platform, judge the interaction on this platform. I'm not one to bring drama from other platforms to this discussion. She was respectful. She was not cursing. She was not massively over talking. I mean, some of you guys, man. All right. So, I will say this again. Yeah, 55. I'm 51. They're gonna hate it because you will see your godfather out with more beautiful women. Oh yes. I do business with my homeboys and my dogs, but I don't go hang out on a town. Oh, I don't want to sit across dinner from a man. I want to sit across dinner from a beautiful woman. There will be business, and business is a pleasure to do with beautiful women. I've told you many times before, I love the company of beautiful women, but this is another reason. When people talk about, hey man, show your receipts, show who you're dating. You think I'm going to take the women that I'm actually dealing with in my personal life? You see what happens when I just post a photo of somebody who's a public person? You want to expose somebody who ain't over here? Nah, that's not cool. Not cool at all. So, at the end of the day, I think it's important to realize this whole high value thing, it's not a requirement. And, I did not, again, I had the debate that we had. I don't believe that 90% of guys aren't worth a darn. But again, trying to argue that would have put us further in the weeds. We're all responsible for what we think about the opposite sex and how we got there. How we got our opinions about the opposite sex, it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility. I come into a conversation ultimately in good faith and trying to see if there's common ground, a middle ground. So be prepared to see more interactions with me with people that you might not think would be possible. They may not be from YouTube because honestly, a lot of stuff that gets talked about in this environment happens over on Facebook. But yeah, it's all good. Let me check in the chat room. I got to hear, unfortunately, she pointed the finger. I got to go ahead and do it again, man. Thank you to all the super chats. Thank you to everybody. Let me go ahead and play Ike's. Let me go ahead and play Ike's song again. Ike is the only person that got a. So here's one for the Danger Zone.
Danger Zone!
And here's one for Ike, the king of the super chat. Ready?
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.
Big Ike got his own theme song. Shout out to Ike, man. Hey, Obsidian, what's going on? Did I see Solo in here? Solo, if you're in here, I didn't see Solo. Solo, if you're in here, say something so I can give you your wrench. I offer content creators that I know a wrench because I need people to be able to protect themselves. So cool. I hope you like your song, Ike, man. I hope you like your song, man. I like that song, man. Miss Jill, hey, sweetheart. I gotta give Ike. I like that song. I wish, honestly, man, I was sitting there, I was like, damn, I wish that was my song.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.
See, I started to do a different song, but when I ran across that one, this was what it was going to be something like this. I was like, that's kind of good. I mean, it starts off dope, you know. It starts off good, but it don't end like this one.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will
Trying to get my DJ on, soundboard on. Now I couldn't put in Dom Marco. Yeah, that's Solo TV 84. Shout out to him. Yeah. So, all right, people. Let me see if I can answer some questions. Hey, there he is. Solo, you got a wrench. I'm sure you already know, but use it like I'll use it, my friend. So I don't want anybody timing out content creators. Do high value men have? All right, guys, let me get up out of here. Again, thank you to the callers. You know, I'm happy with the way the channel is going. I know that some people are giving a moment of pause, but can't make everybody happy, so why try? At the end of the day, life is good. I'm happy that you come over to a grown damn man's house. You get grown damn man glasses. Yes. Oh, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. All right, folks, let me get up out of here. Till next time, peace. We are gone, everybody. You know how this goes. They're like, what? We're gone. You haven't hit the song. No, I haven't hit the song. I need to get this all put on one button. You know, we'll figure that out, though. But anyway, later. Have a good night, people. Close up.
I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me.
Triple old fashioned.
Addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say.
Pink Flame, what's going on? Resident womanist. Thank you for an incredible August, everybody. Thank you for an incredible August. It was an incredible month. There's just no denying it that, you know, a lot of great things happen. I'm humbled for a lot of the support, success of the platform. Again, it's about you guys. You know, we try to make the content for what the men out there say they want, the women out there say they need. You know, I'm the guy sitting in the chair right now, but it ain't about me. It ain't about me. It's about trying to help men become the best version of themselves, get out there, be confident, intelligent, and assertive, helping ladies become feminine, beautiful, inspirational, so everybody can end up having a life that makes them happy. This year was supposed to be the year of the Happy Henry, 2020 for happiness. But I know some people want relationships, some people don't. Whatever it is, are you happy? Are you enjoying life? That's the whole point. So, thank you to all the Patreons who make this thing really possible. They're the silent army. They're the people who actually help support the platform to where I can get up and do this show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It was Monday through Friday, but it's just too draining. Going Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is also going to free up more time for me to dedicate towards the people who make this thing really run, the patrons. So appreciate everything you guys do. Let me go ahead and go to IG. Hit me up in the front room on IG for videos, for live streams that I do only there. When they're up, they're up. When they're gone, they're gone. Respect my inbox, guys. DMing me on Instagram is the worst way to get a hold of me. If you need to get a hold of me, you're going to have to do it the business way. Let's respect each other, folks. Email me your show ideas or things like that. If you want to get a hold of me on info@bykevinsamuels.com, or go to book your one-on-one private advice, your personal consultation, your interpersonal communication, your virtual consult, whatever it is, go to buykevinsamuels.com. That's where it is. Respect my inbox. Thank you guys very much. And we're going to get up out of here. September is tomorrow. September is today. We're going to go into the fall. Again, Panda Boo, Panda Bay. It's that season. It's that season. Thank you guys so much. You're incredible.